Why do you want to fight?
Because I can't sing or dance.
You had a talent to become a good fighter.
You believe that America is the land of opportunity. All Creed does. It's the chance of a lifetime. You can't pass it by. I want to be your manager.
Coach said I don't need no manager.
Hell, they know everybody in the world's gonna see this fight.
I can't beat him. I mean, who am I kidding? I ain't even in the guys' league.
And now, for the main event. You're gonna eat like me, and you're gonna crap thunder.
Good luck.
He doesn't know it's a damn show. He thinks it's a fight, and let's go home. Train is down. What a surprise this is.
Everyone,
Hey, yo.
Rocky's waiting for. Yeah, we have to all. The rule is everybody has to do bad Rocky impersonations tonight. So when you come on, when you're introduced, you have to do it. It's a rule. It's a law, or you get kicked off the show. How you doing, Whitey?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
Is that like the Tennessee hillbilly Sylvester Stallone?
Take a few hits, but I do what I do.
Is he Dracula now?
Yeah, no, yeah.
He sounds like Dracula.
The time Dracula's done.
We are talking about a classic, Rocky, episode 47, MMM. Welcome, everybody. Vex Electronica sadly cannot be here tonight. She's not feeling well. So, in her honor, we'll throw some racial comments out there and make everybody feel really uncomfortable because that's what she does best. But we miss her and we love her. But let's bring on our guests, shall we, Whitey?
Yeah.
And returning back for the 18th time, Mr. Gooch himself, Jay Desolate Soul Studios. How you doing,
Hey, yo.
See, it's not bad. It's better than what Whitey was doing.
Your mom. Hey,
sounded like a slurring country hick.
Yeah, you guys do just the Christopher Walken impression. You know, like when he walks into a surprise birthday party, he goes, "Wow." That's it.
Wow.
That's all I got.
Wow.
That's all I got. Wow.
Christopher Walken as Rocky would have been the greatest thing ever.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, Adrian. Yeah. Anyway.
Just cut me, Mick. Mick, just cut me.
We have some newcomers for the first time on MMM. I'm going to bring on this lovely lady because she's one of my favorite people on YouTube. Nickname Rage Cage. There she is, Cole Class Cage.
Hey, yo, what's good, everybody? I have to do Rocky impersonations, but I read like the undertext of Jay's thing, and I'm just like, I want to do Marlon Brando instead, damn it.
Okay,
you don't understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody, but instead I'm a bum. Face it.
Yeah.
Oh, Cassie threatened me. She said, if she's not on this show because it's one of her favorite movies, she'd find me. And I was like, I'm not fucking with you. So
I'm prepped. Guys. I not only do I have the movie, but I got the game too. The game was fucking flames, bro. Hell yeah, there's like 5 different versions of Rocky in here.
Yeah,
you know, it's
her
sick.
favorite.
I love it.
She loves it. I love the passion. Well, welcome, Cassie.
That was
for the first
PS2,
time.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
PlayStation 2
PlayStation 2
and GameCube. Yeah.
Yep. I had them.
That was great.
I had them both actually. It was fantastic. I wish I could find that game. Okay. And then we have our next guest, first time on. This man is a boxing connoisseur. Mr. Dark Hour.
Hey, yo, I was just backstage and I was realizing that you have the bad version of the game. The good one's Rocky Legends. That's
On
the
the
actual
PSP?
PS2. PS2. There's two. There's Rocky and Rocky Legends. You can play as everybody in Rocky Legends. There's like a whole side story where like if you win as Drago instead, it's great. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Okay, well, we're gonna have to find that, and I don't have a PlayStation 2.
I thought you said Vex wasn't gonna be here. She's making it.
Well, we can't. We feel bad she can't make it, but her presence is always felt.
So I'll just have to throw out random. I'll just be like, "Hey, paisans."
Yeah, just once in a while.
Hey, I don't want to say anything too racial. I'm not actually Italian. I'm just from New Jersey. It's
that's
like,
okay.
I'm sort of. I know plenty of guys named Frankie. If that works, if that helps.
Yeah, you don't want to talk bad about the Guineas. these Guidos over here. I mean, they're so good people. Thank you. Come again.
Okay. Well, yeah, we are here to talk about Rocky. We picked this jokingly when we did this months ago. We picked it because technically we were like, "What's a good holiday movie?" I was like, "Rocky takes place during the holidays."
There's a turkey. There's a turkey in the movie.
Actually, it's one of the few movies that goes over the entire holiday season.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a perfect movie to go through. But anyway, it's one of my favorite. Of course, obviously, by law, it has to be one of my favorite movies. Otherwise, they take my Italianness away.
It also accounts for Hanukkah because Mickey is Jewish. So don't forget that.
True. So, yeah, Wiper. I like that comparison.
That's fantastic. Yo, I got no capsaicin.
Yo, I got seeds in my mouth. I'm
a green.
Yeah. Anyway, this is definitely one of my favorite movies ever. Started off this whole franchise. It's crazy to think what this did for Sylvester Stallone and the shit that he had to go through to make this movie. How broke he was. Just watched his documentary on Netflix the other day. Fantastic.
Check that out.
It's fantastic. So go watch that if you haven't. It puts a lot of context behind the movie.
It's great.
It's fantastic. So
the way he writes the script too, like
and he knows when he's wrong, and he's willing to call himself out when he's wrong. He knows when he makes mistakes with scripts and movies, and even picking movies he's going to act in. And he's just humble about it. He's like, I can't do Shakespeare, but not with my face and not with the way I speak. So let's go back to making action movies. It's so amazing.
And
but it goes into his back. Sorry, go ahead, Doc.
I was saying the fact that he accounts in the script for the fact that he has the the problem speaking is just smart.
Yeah, and they go into the whole story, which I already knew about how it happened, how he got his. I guess he was just basically paralyzed on that side of his mouth because of the way the doctors yanked him out of his mother.
They hit the side of his face with the forceps or something.
Yeah,
so
it just paralyzed his nerve. Yeah,
that's what happens when you use those salad tongs. They ain't just for things.
Hey, it's Hell's Kitchen, New York, baby. Back then it was.
Here comes the baby.
Very rough. Very rough. All right.
I bet they clicked them twice before they used them, though.
Yeah. Well, here we go. So as you all know, we'll scrub through, give our opinions, and talk about the scenes as we go along. But anybody wants to say anything, just throw it in there. Yell at me if you want to go back. But I love the title sequence.
You don't want to give me an opening to just say whatever the hell I want. That
never mind. Dark Hour can never talk ever again. But I love the way it starts off. I just love the whole getting right into the title, the music, classic, right? I mean, that theme is, to me, is this theme as well known as like The Godfather and other themes? Like as soon as you hear it, Rocky.
I would argue it's more well known,
more popular.
I would say it's probably it's in the top 5 most well known themes of all time. I mean, people hear that. That's the first thing they think of is obviously
that's a high T song. Like that's a high T song.
As soon as you hear it, you just want to start either punching something or working out or doing something high T.
Yeah,
right, Cassie? You know what I'm talking about. Cassie's playing video games, listening to this shit, cursing at the TV. I love it.
Pretty much.
I love her. So we get right off the bat, and I love when movies set you up from the beginning, man. Give you the time, they give you the date, the city, and boom, you get right into him fighting, and you get a great sense of his life, right? This dingy boxing arena. It's shitty.
It's actually a church.
Yeah, or a church.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you just see him. Not a particularly well managed fight. He's just a freaking thug, basically just got monkey, just going out there, just punching.
A slugger. It's a smoker. They used to call these smokers.
Yeah,
ref a lot of them.
He's fighting Spider Rico.
Oh, Spider Man.
The term smoker comes from because a lot of times they would have him at like barbecues. Basically, he would be or like they would be smoking like meat, and there would be that's one of the ways that it got the name.
And lack of ventilation.
Oh, that too.
Like you can see the lights going down in this, and it's just like either there are 14,000 cigars going on in here, or
yeah.
Look at his face.
Smoking the meat.
He always has the same look on his face throughout most of the movie. He's just very.
Well, when you get punched a lot, your face tends to like.
That's
get
true.
Like that.
Yeah, I got punched in the balls. Look at him! Look at him! Look at him! He's a fucking monkey. No offense,
but it's beautifully setting it up to showing him how out of shape he was.
Oh yeah.
A slugger, and then he gets into the ring later on, and you see the difference. But
he hasn't chased any chickens yet. There's no cardio.
Yeah.
That's in the next movie. God damn it.
He's mostly he's just a brute, you know.
Absolutely.
No real training.
Mickey does eventually say that he fights like a damn ape. That's the actual line.
Yeah. Look at this face, y'all. Look at this. This is beautiful.
It's a snarl. That's ugly.
Poor guy.
And the fight scenes were done like at that time.
And I like the sounds they were now. Dark Adam, maybe you know, because like I know as we get into later Rocky movies, it sounds like they're getting hit over the head with bricks.
Oh yeah, I think by 4 it sounds like they have like artillery cannons going off.
But he's fighting freaking Clubber Lang, man. He's like, it's like
I'm
mines
not
going
100% certain what they used for their sound effect, but I do know that they did really like on set. They ate a lot of real punches. There was when we get to it later, there's a specific scene in the final fight where they got pissed off at each other and
oh, you heard the story about him and Dolph, like how he put him in the hospital.
Killed him.
Yeah, he put him in the hospital for 9 days.
Yeah, they talk about that in the documentary.
Yeah, Dolph Lundgren is not. He's no joke, man. He's like 6'5", like he's shredded beyond belief. He was a Dutch Kyokushin karate. Yeah, he's a Kyokushin karate black belt, which is real karate. That's like it's not Karate Kid karate. It's like
he was a really smart dude too, right? Didn't he have like
he has like a PhD. He's like an all
MIT, right, or something like that.
I'm not sure where from.
I don't know what it is, but I know he's really smart. Yeah. I like this part here. Sorry, go ahead, Cassie. My bad.
No, generally speaking, when you watch a film like this, it's so hard for me to watch other films that you could tell like it's a set, you know, like everything about this movie just feels real. It feels lived in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just every place that they're at is just like you feel like you're in a ghetto in Philly, and they really do express that. They really do their best to make Rocky out to be, you know, the below average guy that he happens to be a fighter. That's how he gets by, and he gets paid piss for it. They do such a good job of really communicating that to the viewer in an authentic way.
They wanted to film this from the beginning. They said they wanted to film it guerrilla style. It's only the first or second movie to ever use the Steadicam. And the Steadicam was, for those who don't know, I actually work in the production industry. It's essentially like more often than not with movies, there was like big dollies that you would put on like a track and you would like move it with the scene. Steadicam was essentially on a belt or like a harness. So like they could just go film on a street and then leave. Like that's why it always just seems almost kind of like rushed, like real natural feeling. Like, oh, I'm walking down the street quick in Philly, because they were.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Very natural. Yeah, I love how
much those costs back then, like, because they were pretty relatively new back then, right?
What, the Steadicams? Well, the guy who invented it was actually their cameraman. So he probably had a prototype. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I love how like Spider Rico just chilling here. He's like, "You got lucky." He tells me he got lucky. And Stallone's just like, "Oh god!" And then the pay they get. What did he get? What did he get? Like $40 after all the expenses for his locker, and
15, they got like 15. Like it's
yeah. Spider Rico
got 40 in change for
change.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's how it's you know, just until recently, that's how it was. Like I remember like doing the fights, and And even when I, was in there, like it's like you're not making anything when you're starting off. You're getting all that work you're doing, and you're walking away with couple $100 if you're lucky.
The crazy thing is, like, he's 30 years old at this point in this movie, so he's been doing this for a while. He's just, and we all know his second career, which we'll get into here.
he had like 40 fights or something like that. I don't remember.
Yeah, he lost like 20, I think they said.
I'll look it up real quick for you.
This is a beautiful play. I like how he's got the machete as his coat hanger right here on the side. That's nice. That's always nice.
Yeah, he's got the mattress wrapped around.
He looks for food in the fridge. There's nothing there. There's about half of a beer. So but he's got cuff and link.
No wonder why Adrian didn't want to be here, but
right? It's like this place sucks.
My grandfather.
I love Cuff.
Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say I love Cuff and Link as a trivia question.
Oh yeah,
because he only says it like once, but they appear all the time.
Yeah,
he only says their name like actually once.
I love the picture of Rocky Marciano too on the wall.
Yeah, the interesting thing about Rocky Marciano is if you know anything about him, he was, by heavyweight standards, he was really short. He had his arm length was really small in comparison to other heavyweights. Like how successful he was as a fighter is such an anomaly. And studying the way he fought to be as successful as he is, it's like he's naturally an underdog. And for him to be one of, if not the greatest boxer ever.
He was a tough bastard.
It's amazing. He was.
Yeah. My grandfather idolized. He was an Irishman, and he idolized. He says he's the only Guinea I cheered for. He idolized.
Come on.
Well, he was a bare knuckle boxing champion. My grandfather. And
okay.
Rocky Marciano.
And White Bear, is that supposed to be like Stallone Frodo?
It's Rocky Balboa.
Balboa.
I'm talking about Rocky being short,
I'm sorry, I forgot.
So I was close. He had 43 wins, 21 losses as of the Spider Rico fight.
Right.
I said 40 wins.
40. By the way, I forgot to tell everybody in the chat that I love them, and I know you're all here.
Yeah.
Hey, Copa. There you go.
Sensei.
I love everybody in the chat except for Jay Goodwin, who will not shut up about my damn hair.
And he's also got a knife as a hat hanger on the window here. That's always good. But yeah, this part's like this is one of those scenes where he sees himself as a kid, right, in the photo, and he's looking at himself in the mirror like, what the fuck did I do? Like, this is my life, really.
Even the kids looking back at him like, what the fuck did you do?
Those are all real pictures. I mean, obviously those are all from he took a lot of inspiration for this script from his real life, which was, if you watch the documentary on Netflix called Sly, he had a really rough upbringing, like really rough, and his dad was a real piece of crap, and so he took a lot of I'll tell you some of the scenes as they come up, especially the scene with Mickey where he kind of tells him off. It's a lot to do with what he wanted to tell his father when he was growing up. So there's a lot of himself obviously in this movie. I mean, the guy at the time was flat broke. I remember him saying he had $50 to his name and his rent was like $300, and he was not eating at all. He was just drinking coffee and smoking and writing a script. And it took, what did he say? He wrote it in a couple of.
I should have rewatched my my.
I forgot what it was. It was like within days he wrote the whole script.
It was 2 days. It was within 24 hours.
Yeah. And then he kept rewriting. Hey, what's up, Ego? How you doing, buddy? Would you look at that extra sexy panel tonight? I know. Well, it's because Jay's here in Dark Hour. It's not me.
Well, it's not me.
We always love having Cassie here, so she's the best. Yeah, but and then it's Cassie's right. You just get this. You feel like you're part of this environment, right? But it's so downtrodden and depressing and very 70s, right? 1976. So the 70s, everything was just dire, and it's a fucking dark time, man.
I mean, if you go to Philly nowadays, it's not much better than this.
Is it much better? But
no,
this is one of my favorite actresses of all time, Talia Shire.
Talia Shire?
She is like
look at the franchise.
So underrated. When people talk about actresses, she never gets mentioned. She's like flies under the radar. And I
shout out to my dad, who didn't realize that she was the actress in both The Godfather and Rocky. He never made that connection. He had been watching all these films forever, and he just made this connection like a month ago. I'm like, bro, are you kidding me? We've seen Rocky and The Godfather how many times you didn't realize it's the same actress?
Yeah. Oh man. It's she plays this role perfect. And it's funny, we always talk about these days how like the people get mad a man shouldn't write a woman. She said in the documentary he wrote a woman and he nailed it for this scene. Like nobody gave a shit back then but she does a really, really good job in this movie.
Yeah.
And again, she's another one, right? Just shy. Oh, there's Butkus. Butkus.
Yeah, Butkus.
I always found it weird that the dog was named after a Chicago Bear. You'd think he would have been named after a Philadelphia Eagle.
Well, they suck. They didn't have anyone. They didn't have anyone popular.
Team's shit. Me and Cassie know about shit football teams, don't we?
Yeah, too much. We know a little damn too much. No, but
yeah,
Talia Shire's character in this movie she's very relatable. I mean, like, she does live with her brother. She is extremely shy. You could tell that she doesn't date. Like, she's very to herself. She doesn't know, like, she hasn't quite broken out and to be like the person that she wants to be because she's so like afraid, and she really hasn't
she's being held back by something.
Well, her mother, right? Her mother said, like, you don't have the looks, you have to be smart.
Yeah, you got to use your brains, and then.
Yeah, so there's a lot of trauma all throughout her whole life in this movie. Well, this whole movie's based on trauma, right?
It's trauma, like overcoming your fears, overcoming your past. You're just
poverty. You're living. You're literally you're going
your limitations.
People's like everything.
Overcoming cauliflower ear,
So cauliflower ear, I've had it drained a couple of times. It sucks when you get cauliflower ear drained. It's one of the worst things. So they have to, they drain the fluid out from the middle, and then they have to stitch your entire ear back together.
Oh God, that's
and you have to leave it like that for a week to 2 weeks, and it's every time you start to forget about it, and then like all of a sudden something will hit your ear, and you're like, yep, there it is. It's just
damn.
You take it out and throw it on a Caesar salad, just like Mama used to make.
So we find out this is his second career, right? He's a what the hell's the word? Oh my God, I can't believe
he's a thumb breaker for
thumb breaker, collector
Yeah.
For
he's muscle.
He's muscle for the mob guy, and you could even from the jump, he's got to collect from this dude, right? He's behind $200. He doesn't want to hurt him because it's just not in his nature to be mean like that. But he knows that his boss won't be happy, so he takes what is it, like $120, $130. He's like, all right, I'll
it's 130 because he
said
he
just leaves.
70 shy or 70 late or something like that.
What? And the guy's screaming out to him like, I'll make it look like I broke my thumb and nobody has to know. And I was like, oh God, come on. But he's not happy. You can just see he's got the perfect face for this movie. And they initially told him when he made movies like he's got too much of a droopy face, and I was like, actually, it fits in this kind of setting. Like, it's perfect because it's
So one thing I do love about this scene is he tries to justify the fact that he doesn't collect all the money. He doesn't break his thumbs for not collecting all the money, because he basically is like, well, if I break his thumbs and he can't work and then he can't make the money to give you the money. It's like, so he's like trying to like justify it, and they just kind of like wave it off, like, whatever, you got most of it, it's fine.
Right.
This is the nicest character of all the movies.
The nicest mobster I've ever seen.
Dude, he helps him. He does nothing but help him. He understands when he needs to quit. He's just so nice. Now
he's a douchebag.
Yeah. This guy's such a
Whitey.
Where retards like to go take retards to the zoo.
Take your retarded girlfriend to the zoo, because
I should have broke your thumbs.
Oh, that was good. That sounded great.
He gets yelled at here, right? Because he's trying to say, hey man, I'm running a business here. If you don't do what I tell you to do, we're kind of just people just think it's a free,
I wouldn't say yell. It's more like
he was stern. He was stern.
He was like, "Hey, I'm the nicest guy in the whole movie, but listen, if you don't do this, I can't have you working here."
I love this. How do you spell Del Rio? Get a dictionary. Come on.
Well, I don't know. Like my uncles, when they were like, they didn't show emotion. Like they were very calm and patient. And when stoic. Stoic. That's a good term. Like when you screwed up, they give you a look, and then they would just explain things to you. And if you didn't understand it, they would just
people
say,
you don't want to mess with, though.
don't do it again, because then you're gonna get a
What
Stugatz,
is it?
or you're gonna get,
They never had the mob come after Rocky in any future sequel. Well, I mean, he would just punch their face. Well, he would just he's got other problems like Drago, and
he doesn't have any. They don't have any reason to. He got out of that. Like, it wasn't like he owed them any money or anything. Like, Gazzo just at one point gives him, like, literally just gives him money for a training camp. He never
constantly gives him money. Yeah, he gives him money for the date with Adrian, and he gives him money for training.
My favorite back and forth, unfortunately, between them is in the second movie. I'm just gonna say it anyway. I love that when he's like, "Hey, why don't you invest in condominiums? They're safe. I never use them.
I don't wear them. I don't wear them."
I mean, Rocky becomes the golden boy of Philly, so there's
I mean,
there's importance to that.
It would have turned into a totally different movie than, you're mixing too many different types of movies there,
Because he initially I think, if I remember correctly, even talking in his documentary, he wanted it to be kind of a mob, not mobbish thing.
Well, he wanted to be
and then he added Adrian. Yeah, he added Adrian, and then the people, he was like, well, this is boring though. Like, what do I do? And then he started little by little putting the piece. So he goes to go ahead, sorry, buddy.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off there. If they went that route, it would have been like him taking dives and stuff, though. That's the first thing. It wouldn't have been like him owing money. It would have been like,
it would have been. You're right. Yeah. So he goes to Mickey's gym here, and his locker has been taken over or given away by Mickey to another boxer.
Yeah, I like your locker.
This poor guy, his whole life, everything's just taken away from this guy. So he goes to Mickey, and I love Mickey. Burgess
Meredith.
Burgess Meredith. Burgess. I'm gonna call him Burgess from now on.
Yeah.
He's probably the greatest character actor in the history.
Dude, he is so
Hollywood.
good. I run a
Twilight
business.
Zone. He was great in the Twilight Zone. Burgess.
Wasn't he the Penguin?
Yes.
Yes.
Penguin. He was in a lot of things. He was.
Burgess.
I think he had the record for the most guest spots on Twilight Zone or something like that.
Yeah.
It was either him or I'm pretty sure it was him, actually. Now I think about it. But yeah,
I would watch him if he played the same exact voice and role, but in different roles. It's just the same guy doing the same acting, but in every different role.
Yeah, Mickey gives away. Go ahead, Trey. My bad.
Oh no, you were talking.
No, go ahead. Say what you got to say, dude.
Well, I was going to say, like the guy that was acting in the ring, the boxer that was in training, he was a prominent actor in the late 70s, early 80s. He was doing a lot of TV and a lot of background stuff. But like in the second film, you got to see Roberto Duran and a few actual boxers in the training. It was kind of
he was the little squirt that he couldn't catch.
Yeah,
was Roberto Duran.
Yeah,
so old stone hands.
He gets his locker taken. And Mickey basically tells him, like, you're a bum. I don't like what you do for a living. Like, you don't take yourself seriously. You're a bum.
Yeah.
Mickey's just straightforward. And you know what?
He did him so dirty,
you had the talent to be a great fighter, but instead you became a leg breaker. A 2-bit loan shark.
It's a living. It's a waste of life.
Do me a favor and get out of here and go hit the street.
He's the epitome of grizzled old man,
Dude, he's just, I love him. Yeah,
then he's vegetation.
By the way, it's really cold in Philly in the wintertime.
He
goes to see Adrian again. And he's but go ahead, Cassie, what are you gonna say?
No, it's just I can appreciate Rocky's persistence and his respect despite being persistent, because Adrian, you can tell, is the type of female that doesn't know how to talk to men, like, at all.
Yeah.
She doesn't know, like, she's in a situation, and like despite that, most dudes would be like, all right, forget her.
I'm done with
clearly
this.
has zero interest.
She never technically tells him no, though. She never
exactly.
She just doesn't say anything. She just keeps looking down.
Like, exactly. That goes to show that it's like it's not that she doesn't like want to, isn't interested at all. She doesn't know how. She just has zero like ability to talk to men, and there's definitely a lot of women that are like that. Yeah,
he's trying to give her the how you doing, but she doesn't even know how she doing.
Hey, I like to get the food that doesn't have the flies in it, because if the flies get caught in the throat, I have to punch them in the back of the shell.
Rocky, man. What's up, Zax? Adrian is the biggest tease. But she gives it up later, man. She gets it, and she's like, all right, let's... I can't. My legs are tied.
Oh, but she wanted to see if he was a real man, though. She was just like...
That is true. And then we get...
Are you gonna stop me, or are you gonna let me walk out?
Look at this bathroom. He brings his beer into the, and
Oh,
then
he's
Paulie's like,
such
I want
an
to
asshole.
kill the guy who broke this mirror. He just kept saying it the whole time.
Meet me at
Paulie's my
8:30. There's like toilet paper bombs all over the place.
Yeah, and then Burt Young.
We've all
Yeah,
been in
he's
a
got-
bathroom like this at
He's
some
got
point.
a union job. He's got a union
Yeah.
job, but yet he wants to work for Rico. Like I didn't
Yeah.
understand.
Oh yeah,
that.
he wants to work for Gazzo. Yeah, because he wants
Or
to
Gazzo.
Yeah.
Gazzo. Sorry, Gazzo.
But like,
Hey, Rock, I like
Rico.
capitalism. You know.
He is such a shitty, like a piece of shit in the game. But Burt Young is perfect. He nails this.
Rest in peace. Rest in peace.
Yeah,
man,
he was
rest in
great.
peace, man.
He was
He's a
great.
beast.
I
But
don't think
I
Gazzo's
understand.
hurt,
I understand his position. He comes off as the dude that's been working a dead end job that's fucking like rough, and
He
you can
sees
tell
meat
he's
all the
an
time.
older guy, and he
handles
wants
sausages.
he wants an easier job or something that's like, well, I don't mind busting up someone's face collecting some money.
Right.
That to me
Seriously.
isn't nearly as bad as cutting up and dealing with meat in a fucking fridge all day.
Yeah, nobody
100%.
wants to walk around and be like, "Hey, I deal with I handle sausages for a living." It's not really a thing. You can,
In a
I
freezer.
get drunk
I'm a
at work
sausage.
cutting up meat. I get drunk at work.
I touch
cutting
meat.
up
I beat my meat all day. Well,
Burt
Rocky,
Burt Young was a boxer in real life. So
dude, Cassie
he
is in a
was-
sick leather jacket. Sassy
Hell
said she
yeah.
loved it before. It's badass. She knows what's up.
But yeah, Burt Young was a boxer in real life, so he actually
Yeah.
was really good for consulting.
He looks like a tough guy. He just
Yeah.
looks like a guy I would never mess with. Yeah, I like this part here where he sees Apollo on the screen. He's talking about, whatever he's talking about, and then I like this part.
He
It was
basically
the-
tells kids to stay in school and don't
Stay in
do what
school,
he
like
does.
he's being trying to be
Yeah.
positive, and I love America. God
kinda-
bless America. Basically, he loves America, right? And like,
well,
fucking this guy.
the whole thing is he's basically promoting the fight because it's him talking about how America's the land of the opportunity. He's doing the whole thing that he does later, but they haven't found out that his opponent isn't going to be there yet, so he's still just doing it. And then the whole thing about like stay in school is like because you don't want to fight me. Essentially, it's really not. It's more of an ego thing than anything.
Yeah, use your brain.
Yeah.
He was perfect though. I mean, and another thing you learn in Sly is like they went through a lot of freaking people to play this role, even some boxers, and everybody backed out at the last minute. And then Carl Weathers came in. And he's like, "Yeah, you're perfect. You're perfect."
Well, he played in the
Be a
NFL.
thinker, not a stinker. There you go.
He played in the NFL. I forget what teams he played in the NFL.
Yeah.
I want to say.
He was a good athlete. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I like this part here. How this guy's talking shit about Apollo, but he's like, "Hey, at least he took a chance." Rocky's like sticking up for him a little bit. He's like, "He took a chance. Look at him." He's like, what the hell have you? Yeah, what have you ever done with your life? And he's like,
He played for the Oakland Raiders.
Yeah.
And then he played for
Okay.
the British Columbia Lions in the Canadian Football League.
Want me to take a shot? I'll take a shot.
You could tell Rocky respects Apollo Creed.
Yeah.
Because
Well, he's living the
knows
life
that
that
it
he
takes a
wants
lot.
too.
That too, but he definitely respects Apollo Creed because he knows
Definitely.
what it takes to get to the top. He can't get there, so he as a fighter he has to respect an individual that managed to get to the top.
100%. You're accurate. And I like this part here where these kids are talking. This is very true. Any big city, you're growing up in New York too. This shit happens. People on the street corner bullshitting with each other. Until your dad, who's a cop, comes home and goes, "If you don't get home in the next 5 minutes off this fucking street corner," I'm like, "Yeah, Dad, I got you. Yeah." My mom would tell me to leave. No, never. I would sneak back out.
I'm going to
My
use
dad-
a bad word, but you're going to be.
as soon as I saw my dad's car
It's
coming
whore.
down the street,
It's
running,
whore.
screaming,
You don't wanna
crying,
be a
and
whore.
running into the house. Yeah. Greg. All I would
You
hear was, "Greg,
freako."
get in the house." Like, okay.
That's still one of the weirdest things to me that they eventually bring that character back into the series.
Oh, you mean later on the Rocky?
Yeah,
Balboa movie.
her.
Balboa.
Yeah.
You know what the
and
funny thing is,
Bal-
I
and-
actually like Rocky Balboa. I thought it was a good way to re-enter.
Me too.
He was so disappointed with Rocky 5, he couldn't just leave it after all those. He's like, I have to fix this. And thank God, because I thought Rocky Balboa was a good movie at least.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah, I liked it.
I mean,
a
it
lot.
was very similar to the first one, but
100%. He even says that.
with more, they took like George Foreman's like kind of life too, and kind of mixed it. in
Yeah.
there.
That's a good question, Vex.
Part 2.
For me, it's 1, 2,
3.
1,
gotta
2,
go
Four,
four,
1, 2, 4, 3,
4,
5.
3, and
It depends
No.
which 4 as well because they remade.
no. I gotta tell. Yeah, I was gonna say that the Drago, the director's cut with him and it's Rocky versus Drago. I think it's called.
Much better movie.
I actually really like the movie. It's really he makes. I mean, I love Rocky IV for its 80s over the top. It's basically
it was
for its time.
Stock. Yeah. It was like it did not age well, so they kind of
no. It didn't. But the new one, if you haven't seen the Rocky vs. Drago director's cut, it feels like a regular Rocky movie, like these movies. Yeah. He takes parts that were cut out, and he takes a lot of takes the robot part out, like with Paulie. Yes. He makes it a series. It's an actual serious drama.
Rocky 3.
I love Rocky
Thunderlips. Thunderlips. The ultimate male versus.
Oh, if it's me, I go meatball. 1, 2, 4, 3, Balboa, and then 5. 5 was like
so difficult.
Everybody got 5.
I started a video essay series. I have to go back and
start
doing that again. And I ranked the first and second ones, and I was ranking the movies and the fights because it's almost like you can't really rank because each one of them has like two separate aspects to it. There's all the buildup, and then there's the fight itself. So it's hard to do that. But
people like the second one better because it adds more context to him and Adrian and.
Well, because he wins. That's what really people love about it.
The first two are great, and the first two are fucking fantastic. I mean, they're all good.
The one that I can never really quite place is 3. 3 is difficult for me because I like it, but it almost feels like feels like an end, and it's not an end. It's weird.
Two things he says. A couple of things he says he regrets. This is an interview years ago. I forgot the source. But he was out. He says he wishes 3. In 3, he said his ego was starting to really balloon at that point. So he really put. I like 3, but you could start to see where it was getting into the realm of like comic booky. At that point.
I mean, when you have literally Hulk Hogan show up and start throwing you around for about 10 minutes. Yeah, it's like...
Rocky IV went way beyond. Like that was like a Marvel movie just with boxers. I mean, they're literally killing each other, and which is fine. It's entertaining. And then 5, he admits it was shit, but he wishes he never.
So it was also like a Marvel movie then.
And he wishes he never would have killed Apollo off in the 4th when he said it was the stupidest mistake he ever made.
I think that there was, if I recall correctly, there was some sort of studio intervention for that because they.
Yeah, there was, and he wishes he would have just listened to himself instead of the studio. But he made it right.
I think it played out well.
Watch Rocky IV, the director's cut. I'm telling you, that scene with Apollo's funeral. There's like a whole extra. It's actually emotional. Like it's. I mean,
and the
it's
fight
good.
Actually, Apollo doesn't just get like.
Apollo fights back.
He actually puts up a fight, and but he's like not in the shape he needs to be.
And then he adds the boxing sounds like from this movie, like onto the new. I'm telling you, it's a good movie. It's different, but it's good. I like this part here. Screw you, creepo. And I like how he keeps looking back. He goes, "Yeah, who are you giving advice, creepo?"
You can tell that Rocky, he's genuinely a good person, but I mean, look at where he comes from. You got to do things that you don't necessarily sometimes, you're not morally in tune with to get by. Right. I understand the sentiment. You can tell that Rocky's genuinely a good person, but
he's a very good
dude's got to scrape by. Can't just fight for a living, make $40 if you win, and then live on that for 2 weeks. It don't work that way.
Yeah. Yeah. He's just, he's a product of his environment, right? He's not smart enough to pull himself out, but he has this skill that he doesn't take serious enough. So it's like he's stuck, right? And we all know that feeling when you feel stuck in something. It's depressing, man. It can really crush your soul. Like me being stuck on this show with Whitey. It's really depressing, and I don't know what I'm going to do about
it. You're stuck, but you ain't got no pull out,
pull out game for me, baby. What's up, Dempsey? I'm kidding. I love you, Whitey.
I thought you were saying you were kidding that you had no pull-out game there. I wasn't
obviously not. But I like this. So the guy that Apollo's going to fight, right? He broke his hand, right? He has a fracture in his hand, so he can't fight him now. And they're trying to find
pretty common. People. Boxer's fracture. It's usually your metatarsals.
Right.
This relates to Marvin Hagler. Like they were using Hagler because no one wanted to fight Hagler back in the day. Everyone was dodging Hagler. Yep. He was an animal, and he was knocking everybody out, and everyone avoided him. Even Leonard. Everyone says, "Oh, Sugar Ray Leonard," but Leonard capitalized on Hagler because Hagler was like done at that point.
Yeah,
and he didn't want to fight Hagler.
If you want to see peak Marvin Hagler, man, go watch him versus
Sugar Ray?
No, my brain's Tommy Hitman where he just goes ham into him for like two rounds, just like.
My
Hagler really fucked up versus Leonard because he fought like southpaw for like 3 rounds, and it caught. In my opinion, people go back and forth between who won that fight. It can go either way. He fucked up, in my opinion, by fighting southpaw for like 3 rounds when he should have just fought his regular style. He probably would have won the fight.
I miss when boxing was good.
Yeah, boxing was when it was boxing up until the late 90s.
We used to watch all those fights. My dad would have people over, and I would, he would let me watch it. I miss those days when it was actually fun to watch boxing.
Oh yeah,
God, so good. Yeah. So he's like, let's give, they're picking out fighters that they might want to add on, and just nobody. So he's like, let's give an underdog the opportunity, and he's going through this whole thing about let's do it on. What was it?
They were doing it on New Year. It was New
Year's. Yeah, New Year's.
Which always made it was always funny to me because he says this country's most important birthday. I'm like, but that would be the 4th of July.
4th of July. I think
that always bothered me that they wrote it that way. But
it's very smart. Carl Weathers was great.
Carl Weathers is one of the most underrated actors of all time.
He's a good actor. Yeah, you don't.
He can do comedic. He could do serious. He could do action. He could do drama. He could do it all, man.
Get his arm cut off by an alien.
Yeah, he could die from a Russian punching him in the face.
And he was always jacked, man. He's jacked,
dude. You remember when badass. Remember when high T male actors used to actually be around?
Yeah,
action stars were. Yeah, this is good. This is where he gives him the money for. Yeah, there you go.
I hear retards love this, though, Rock. I hear retards love this.
Oh yeah, he's in a bed, and he tells him like people just hate for no reason. Like, just it's okay, move on. But he gives him like $50 to take for the date,
which by 1976 standards is quite a bit of money.
Like, a lot of money. I take $50 now, man.
The old Cadillac.
Word.
Right?
Yeah, the old boxy style Cadillacs.
Yeah, my Uncle Tony drove that. He loved that thing.
Look at these neighborhoods. Unbelievable. I love how they're going through the names here. And I tell you what, man, like, you want to talk about your whole, just everything about your existence changing on a dime. He's looking for names, and everybody's like, nah, the name, he's smart, Apollo, right? He knows it's a business too. So he's like, I got to have a name that's going to be catchy to people. He's like, this is it. The Italian motherfucker said Italian, which is an insult, but I let it go because it's a
Italian
style. Sounds like a damn monster.
Can you imagine if Cannoli's name was in this book? The Cannoli Sasquatch.
Cannoli Sasquatch. Oh, that'd be a perfect.
That sounds like a dude who doesn't take many showers. That's what it sounds like.
Eats everybody's food. But I love it. And he's like, hey, let's
no soap in that guy's house. No soap at all.
What would be better than getting it on with one of its descendants? Yeah, Apollo Creed. He's not wrong though. It is a good nickname. The Italian Stallion is a good nickname.
Yeah, it is. It's honestly it was so good that they retroactively changed his porno title to it.
Yeah,
that's how good it was.
I got called that playing football. The Italian Stallion.
Thank you for the super chat comment, people. Appreciate you.
That's a reference to the Mr. Brown Alliance from yesterday.
Right, I figured so. I like it. So they're going to. This is Thanksgiving. See, holiday time. It's a holiday movie. They're going to Paulie's house, and he's like, I love how he keeps asking, you sure your sister knows I'm coming over? Yeah, she's excited. She's really excited.
Like 4 times they ask him, but so you're sure,
They're like, it's almost like they're low key fighting over which conversation to have between like getting the job and taking his sister out on a date.
Well, that's part of their dynamic is that they're like essentially like friends by default. Like they mentioned it multiple times that like nobody really liked either of them growing up, so that's why
I feel bad.
That's why they're friends.
Man.
Look, I know you want to bang my sister, but about that job.
Yeah, about that Gazzo. And I like how
I know you want a job with Gazzo, but really want to give you sister.
I don't know why I never noticed this. Is that
Paulie
Paulie in a Navy uniform? Not Navy. Is it the Navy or Marine?
That looks like Navy. That looks like
Navy, right? Navy. I'm like, oh, okay. So he's a veteran. Interesting.
Well, since they used actual pictures, I wonder. Hold on.
Yeah, I think he was in the Navy in real life. If I look it up.
Also, he was a good painter too.
Yeah, he painted.
In the end, Rocky Balboa. Yeah, good call.
Yeah,
he was a Marine. He was a Marine.
Oh, okay.
That makes sense. That the Marine and the Navy dress uniforms do look very similar.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Poor Rocky. Look at his face. She's just like, no, I'm not leaving. Like I'm not ready for this. What's up, Adam Gray? And then this and that, and wait, what did fucking Uninspired say here? Got you dogs playing on TV in the background. I got to go edit. Oh, are you doing your Miss Marvel still? When are you gonna get that thing done? Jesus Christ!
Well, he's doing like a full
I know.
he's not just doing
Whatever he sent me so far, the little edit, it's gonna be really good, really good.
Nice.
Paulie, it's Thanksgiving. Yeah, I got a turkey in the oven. I was like,
you want the bird? Go get the bird.
Go get the bird.
Yeah.
He's so extra, man.
Oh,
jeez.
Oh, Paulie. And he takes the leg though.
Yeah.
Well,
he's like, Rocky,
probably
hungry?
significantly undercooked at that point because she was cooking it. So,
oh God,
I don't know. They never really. I didn't state exactly what time it was. I know that the skating rink they go to is closed, but then again, that could mean it could be like it could be.
Well,
4
no,
o'clock.
this was like it's past 6.
That was
it.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. And I like this. It's Rocky, you know. Who the fuck else is like?
Hey, me, it's Rocky Balboa. Like Italian. Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing. You're funny. And he's like, what? What's funny?
He's not even trying to be funny. He's
literally.
He actually talks her into it. I bet at this point, Adrian was like, "Fuck it, I'll just do this to shut everybody up." And maybe she really
anything to get away from my idiot.
Yeah, she's angry, so she wants to get out of the house. Yeah,
I got this idea. I'll go bribe a guy in a Zamboni, and we'll have like a really awkward date.
Who pays the bills around here?
Didn't they say? I think it was in the Sly documentary that the ice was melting or something was wrong with the
It
ice.
was melting, but they were supposed to have like extras around them.
Yeah,
they all back like he couldn't get them, so he decided to do it on his own.
And they were very limited on time for the shooting, so that might be why the ice was melting and stuff like that. But
I think there was a 2-hour window or something like that.
So they shot the perfect scene right then. You know,
two people having a
good full conversation there.
Yeah. $8. I like how he's talking to him at $10 for 10 minutes. He goes, "How about $8? All right, 9." He's like, "Listen,
let me haggle over here."
Skating's bad for the. And then this is where he kind of goes into the little backstory about why he became a boxer because his dad said, "Oh, you got no brain, so got to use your body."
His finger. He talks about his finger. He says,
"Oh, his dislocated finger."
Yeah, there.
Yeah.
Look, it's back. He cracks me up. Look at him. He's just so he's like running around chasing her, and and then he tells her what a southpaw is. It's good character development, right? It's a good scene to kind of just figure what these guys are both about, why he became a boxer, and he's kind of breaking her out of her shell a little bit.
Yeah, like he's leading the conversation, he's helping her, like like I'm gonna look like a douchebag, so that way you can finally feel comfortable enough to talk to me.
Right.
It's good that even though he's a complete moron, he could literally have a full conversation with a wall.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. That's how him and those turtles get along so damn well. It's like, hey, what's that like?
This was not 10 minutes, by the way. This was not 10 minutes, by the way.
It was a lie.
Hey, yo, that was like 2 minutes at best.
2 minutes, yo. I'm
but in the documentary, he talks about how it became a love story. Like he just kind of he realized this is not about Rocky. It was about Adrian and him. It became
it was a love story. He said that,
and he started like re-scripting all through this movie.
Yep.
And I'm like, what? That's insane that he just started writing.
It's funny too because in real life he really is he's an intelligent dude.
Yeah.
Really, a lot of people think he's not because of the way his voice is. But
just talks.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Cassie? I'm sorry.
To call Rocky a boxing movie is really a disservice to the film.
Most sports movies are not actually sports movies. It's just it's kind of involved around sports in most movies.
The backdrop. It's a
backdrop. 100%.
Drama.
But she's right. Yeah. I like how he puts his hand through the fucking door. There's no glass. Just opens. It's just fucking Philly, man. And he's trying to get her in the place. Is this the face you could trust or what? Come on. And he tells, this is the funny part here, which comes in key later. It's a small thing, but he tells her that he never broke his nose, got his nose broken during a fight ever in all the fights he's had. And he's like, I'm proud of that. And he's like,
I'm no Owen Wilson, Look at this thing. It's a good honker.
Wow.
And then can you imagine now? If you're Adrian, you walk into this place and he
just like, takes everything. He's got the wife beater on. He's just like
typical Guinea with the fucking wife beater.
I know.
Like he's got a hole in it. He's got a hole in his wife beater. I'm like, this is so fucking funny.
I love when he yells out the window, "Hey, Paulie, your sister's over here.
Come in, be comfortable, be comfortable."
Now, nowadays, if this movie came out, you got a guy really, really hassling a woman to get up into his room. He whips out his turtle, starts yelling out the window. And then the scenes progress. What happens.
Have you seen my 2-shell
time
turtle
to get-
over here?
Hey, Paulie, your sister's gonna be late, okay?
Yo.
That's actually the least realistic part, because if they were really in Philly and he yelled out the window, somebody would have shot at he was shot at the window.
Shut the fuck up. I love this part here where he's like, "You remember when you got me these turtles?" She's like, "Yeah, I sold them to you, fucking idiot."
I got these rare animals here, but I sold them to you.
Why is your bed up against the? No, this is poor Rocky.
I just realized I've never noticed he had a rifle there.
Yeah, he's
never noticed that.
On the back.
Adrian's probably like, "Oh, this guy probably likes the zoo."
That's probably when he was gonna off himself.
This guy probably likes the zoo.
Look at her. She's like,
I heard something about retards enjoying the zoo. So
you like the zoo,
Rocky? Do you like the zoo?
Do you like the zoo, Rocky?
He talks about why he doesn't have a phone.
Actually, he does like the zoo because they go to the Philadelphia Zoo right after he gets out of the hospital.
Yeah, the second one. Like how he's got the tape on the window because it's broken. It's like, Jesus, Rocky, come on, yo.
Yeah.
I love it.
He doesn't even want to sit down.
Yeah.
Check out these pits.
Like, is there like old heroin needles somewhere in this couch?
Jesus. Are you gonna
the couch squished?
Did you see the Tyson Fury and Usyk standoff, and Stallone was there?
Mm-hmm.
He looked like a little person. He was just like, holy.
He's a tiny dude.
I think he's 5'9", 5'8".
He's not big at all. Yeah. Andrew, he stays strapped. He's got to stay strapped in Philly. You see his neighborhood he lives in, buddy? Come on. Oh yeah, this is where he's like, I'm sure I don't know you. You should go. She ain't gonna leave him. You have nice eyes, you know.
And this was the origin of the what is it, the
date rape?
No, the origin of like the 80s How to Make a Girl Pretty montage.
Taking the glasses off.
She is pretty.
I'm a miracle worker.
I just want to
ta-da.
Get the music playing in the back. Look, he's a fucking baller, man.
Yeah, dude, that's how you do it. You show a girl your turtle, and next thing you know,
you remember? I'll show you my cuffing link, girl.
She's in shell shock.
She's moaning and shit at the end of the scene. He's got her. He's like, that's it. Yeah, this is when he goes back into Mickey's gym now, and yeah, this is where the
hey Mick, I got laid. Give me my locker back.
Mickey, I'm happy. I got my pipe wet, you know.
Yeah, I went to the zoo, you know.
I can only imagine if he actually said it like that, and like Mickey's just like, "Wait a minute, you got laid at the zoo? What the fuck?
What? Wait, with who? what exhibit were you in?
I was near the ice.
You should have been over there fighting the gorillas.
There's a
retard penguins.
I
was a penguin once.
There's a retard orgy at the zoo.
This is the second time somebody's mentioned that me and Jay look alike. I don't know. Is it the Italian thing or?
Yeah, it's.
I think you guys have hats, and that's the whole thing.
That's what it is. Well, I mean, if I look like Jay, I'm a stud. I'm just saying.
Well, much like the rednecks from Tennessee, you know, the gene pool only goes so far.
This is the part we were talking about where Mickey. So the promoter's looking for Rocky. Comes in, and he's like, "Why are you always on my case? You really want to know, Rock?"
It's the line I said. That you had a talent to become a great fighter. Instead of that, you became a leg breaker.
Yeah, and he's kind of telling the truth, and Rocky he's not stupid, right? Well, he is stupid,
him out right in front of everybody too.
Yeah.
Both of them kind of did that. Yeah,
you always be a bum.
So he thinks that Apollo's looking for sparring partners, so that's why he goes in to do this, because he's like, this is good though. And you feel bad for Rocky because he's just innocent, like Cassie was saying. He's not a bad guy. He's just looking for a way out of his situation. Doesn't know how to do it. And he's like, "Fuck, I'll do this."
I do think that everybody can relate to this, where they, whether in one way or the other. Sometimes you go in thinking something's better than it is, and other times you think it's not. It's more than you expect. But everyone has something similar to this moment.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And I still use that term "ham and egger" to this day.
It's perfect. And he's because he tells him, do you want to be, do you believe that America is the land of opportunity? He's like, Apollo wants you to fight him. Immediately. He didn't even, he's like, no, not doing it. He's like, this guy, you know, like he said, I'm a ham and egg. This guy's the champion. He has no confidence in himself. He's like, this guy would kill me. But he actually decides to do it.
After all these times I've watched this movie. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Cass.
No, I was just going to say that, you know, look at his situation. Look where, you know, where he comes from, how he is, how he's grown up. He clearly doesn't think anything of himself. I mean, what? Yeah. Why would he?
Yeah. There's nothing in his life saying that they're giving him any hope, right? So I think
he basically takes it because really what he takes it for is the payday.
He wants the money. Yeah, of course. Which I don't blame him.
Did they mention how much he gets paid though? And but going back to the point before we answer that, but like,
oh my bad.
I think he also doesn't want to embarrass himself. Like he even says that, like he's way out of my league. Like
yeah, he knows he's gonna get.
Like, why would I want to even entertain that?
But he, you know, yeah, you're right. But I love how, and the Apollo Creed's just talking up America in this movie, right? And I love the one scene where they even ask Apollo, like, how does it feel to, like, you're a black man fighting this white guy? And he's like, what does that got to do with it? He's an Italian guy fighting a black guy. What does it matter? I was like, wow.
Yeah, and he knows how to gin up. Yeah, he knows how to gin up, you know, some, you know, popularity there. I mean, you're sounding like, you know, Joe Everyman or whatever, you know.
Yeah,
but if he knows how to attract a crowd, and that's what Rocky. He's looking at that. He's like, well, you want me to fight that? You know, that's the dude. He's believing the hype.
They don't mention how much he makes in this movie. They mentioned in the second movie how much he made, and it was about, if I recall correctly, it was like $30,000, and then they for the second fight they give him like 5 times the amount.
Oh, there you go. So he's getting 100.
Well, yeah, because Apollo wanted that match so bad, like he kept on offering more and more money because he was getting those letters. Yeah.
I remember them saying that he only clears like 37,000 or something like that.
Yeah, after everything. After
now he can afford.
He's making 150 here.
He can afford a window with no.
Yeah, well, he can afford that. You know, cologne that make him smell like a jungle rat.
Yeah,
it surrounds my body with class.
Like
30,000 after taxes, he says. Mike. Okay.
Yeah, which doesn't make
$40, right?
I like Paulie's face here. You're going to give me that job at Gazzo now, or
wait? Yeah, this is good acting right here. You feel the, you know, his self-loathing hatred. You know?
Yeah.
I like how Rocky gets mad because they're pulling him off. He's like, I just want to say hello to my girlfriend. And he's like, what? He starts
they're pulling him out. He's like, I want to knock you in your face.
Product of his freaking streets, man. I love it.
Goodwin said that windfall profit taxes in the 70s were brutal. I really I do remember them saying that he only clears in like the 30s. And I'm really wondering, like, what the hell, like, how do you do that to somebody?
That's fucked up. But yeah. And then Paulie's just trying to just get any job he can. If you need somebody to help you train, run errands. And then Rocky's like, hey, listen, if Rocky says it, he's like, nobody helped me before, so fuck it, I'll do it on my own. It's like,
we're pulling Helen Keller jokes back then. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, she goes, Einstein. And, oh, really? Paulie's like, did he really? Just smart ass. I could love Paulie.
Well, I love how Adrian, you see her starting to stand up for herself, fight back against her brother. Before she would just kind of like look down and cower. But like she is building like this confidence in herself.
That's insane.
Her character progressed.
76%.
God damn.
Yeah, so let's see. 100.
That's all your fucking money. It's like, what is California, like 54% between its state tax and the federal?
Disgusting. And they want more.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
It's true.
What was that, Jimmy Carter or Ford? I don't know.
What up, Hypno?
So he would have cleared if Jay Goodwin's number is correct, he would have made from that $36,000 from the 100.
Which, I mean, it's still a lot of money, but you're taking away fucking 120. You know,
yeah, that's insanity.
Disgusting.
Man.
Well, he could buy some more turtles at this point, though. If he has $37,000
in the 70s, that would have been like $100,000 now.
Yeah, but still, like that's.
Yeah, I was going to say, Zach, we're in fucking Canada. Taxes are brutal up there. Cost of living is brutal up there.
Yeah, but you guys have that great health care up there, right? That's what it's all
universal,
about. Up there. Yeah.
Universal health care. Oh no, yeah, it's going. Jay's like, fuck, I gotta get out of here, man.
Yeah.
I hope this comic has to work. I gotta get the fuck out of
here. Anything's gonna work.
Literally everybody I know who lives in Canada is trying to leave Canada. So
yeah. Well, you could be like Vex, and they just keep trying to keep you there.
Yeah, we're gonna keep you here and charge you money.
You mean keep trying to throw you in prison?
Yeah,
throw you in jail, fine you, and wage garnish you.
They think they realize she's too good of a commodity to let go.
They don't want to let her go. I don't blame them. Yeah, I like this part here where when he's watching all the stuff that's happening back, he's like, it didn't bother me. I don't care what these people say, but he actually does, because he tells Adrian here, remember what I said about what they said on TV? It didn't bother me. It did. So he actually does.
It does.
And Adrian's like, oh shit. Like he tries to play it off, but he like Cassie said, he's a nice guy. He's a sensitive dude, right?
Yeah,
he doesn't
she's
want
like, don't be a pussy, Rock. You know.
Rock.
Well, you can see that she trusts him.
He's still smoking.
They trust each other. He wants her to know the truth about him as a person.
Right.
Yeah, he's opening up to her. So what are we gonna say?
Not only is he smoking, he's also hanging out at Pat's Cheesesteaks. Cannoli, I'm assuming you're from around, not far from where I'm from. I'm sure you've been down to Philly for Pat or Gino's cheesesteak.
Yeah, I mean you can't go and not get a cheesesteak. But
which one did you get? That's the question. Were you a Pat's cheesesteak or a Gino's cheesesteak?
Fucking long.
Pat's is the chopped. It's like Pat's is like the traditional chopped one. The Gino's is
the different.
It's like the patties almost.
What's the one they put the cheese whiz in?
They both do it actually, but the one that started it was Pat's.
She's like, oh,
that's why we don't make that
is
like
a
that
staple.
Down here.
That is a staple to a
it's bullshit.
Not me. I live in PA. I ain't having no fucking cheese whiz on the
Yeah, let me pour the cheese that's never solid. Yeah, dude, it's never solid.
And you have to say it right. If you say it wrong, they send you to the back of the line. You have to say
cheese whiz is made with aluminum.
Whiz without.
So this is where Mickey comes in, and out of nowhere, he wants to be his manager, right? And he just opens up to Rocky. He's like, I used to fight. This is why I used to look like this, showing him pictures when he was young, and I had this guy stick nails in my head, my cheeks. I was bleeding. Like he just goes into this whole backstory.
If he let him go on and on, how far into this like his life story would we go? Like, I used to have some really interesting moments with my uncle, like stuff like that.
yeah. Well,
and Rocky, what would happen when we went up to the mountains?
You see Rocky.
They're both to blame for this moment right here. Sorry, dude.
Yeah, because he didn't take himself seriously as a boxer, and Mickey. He feels like he gave up on him, right? Because he gave his locker, and he even says it. But they're both to blame. I mean, he didn't maybe try it hard enough to get Rocky.
Mickey tells him all of this, his life story essentially, because he's like, they ruined me as a potential boxer.
Yeah,
they ruined me, and I'm here because I can help you not go through that same situation.
Yeah. Rocky, did I ever tell you about this one time?
At band camp, someone shoved a nail in my face.
Yeah, you don't know where the nails went, Rock.
But yeah, guys, right. It's that moment where he's like, he is trying to come to his defense, but it is, like I said, partially his fault because he's got so used to people just becoming bums, that he treats everybody. He saw a little potential, and then he didn't work hard enough on Rock, like he should have. It is his fault, But Rocky is treating him so fucking cold right here. It's hard to watch.
It is tough because you feel, and then so again, if you watch the Sly documentary, there was a scene that he filmed right here, I think right around this part of the movie, where he had a great speech, and he said it was an improv and it was a one-time thing, and then something happened with the, oh god, what was it? The way they were filming it, and they had
the door. He was the door.
Yeah, and so they had to redo the whole thing. And so what he did to get angry at Mick here, he was like, how am I going to play this scene up? I just gave this great speech. It's not going to be filmed because it got fucked up. Great improv. So he went back to the memories of his father, treating him like shit all these years, not backing him up. His dad was competitive against him. He was always jealous of Sylvester Stallone. So that's where you remember that, Jay, right? Yeah, he said
he's in the movie too. But
he's the bell guy.
In the movie, the bell guy. Yeah.
But he said he played this scene really angry. He got real angry because he just remembered everything his father did to him. That's why he showed some emotion here. But Mickey, you feel bad for him. Go ahead, sorry.
This is one of the most powerful moments in movie cinema for me.
Yeah.
With like, they're not father and son, but you have that moment where, Mickey realizes he didn't nurture and be there for Rocky and doesn't want Rocky to do this alone. He wants to be there for him. And Rocky's, upset and feels like he's, thrown off the side. And
right.
It's just such a pivotal moment. And this, like, I just love this scene so much.
I love the way it's filmed. I just love everything about it. He's just letting it off, man. He's pissed at himself. He's mad about his situation in life, and he's just letting it all out, right? Where were you? It stinks in here. You want to come in here and live with me? It stinks.
What about my prime? Is specifically the line where he says, "What about my prime?" Because like at least you had.
Yeah. What about me? And I love the way this is shot here. The great, this wide shot. It's fucking great. And you see him run out, and he realizes like, okay, I really do need this guy because I don't want to be. He's going to help me get out of this. If anybody can do it, this guy's going to do it.
Yeah.
And he puts his arm around him. It's a good scene. It's very emotional.
The score, the strings in the background increasing, just, slowly getting louder and louder. And because you don't really need any more of the real conversation there.
Yeah.
You have the moment, and so that's kind of what
great.
Made it perfect there.
Good filmmaking though, like because the good character development, you actually feel the emotion. And here he's going, "You want to see my pinky? It's dislocated, Mickey."
It's my trigger finger. Did you see my right
finger? I got a rifle upstairs. I was about to use it until you came in.
Didn't even see my turtles,
But like that's the only moment you see Mickey change. Like that's the only moment. And then he goes back to being a stubborn asshole.
Like
he's just,
the only other time you kind of see that.
Moment.
The only other time you kind of see that is in the second movie in the chapel, and then in the third movie, like right before they go, like the fight happens.
Yeah.
The first fight.
Yeah. They were all handpicked, Rock. But he's drinking the fucking egg.
Worst part of the movie right here.
I tried this once. It was the worst experience.
Never.
I thought about it, but never went through with it.
Just do it.
No, I'm good.
And it's such a bad idea.
I don't do it. Do it on the
It's
stream.
such a bad idea. It doesn't make any sense.
No.
Your body doesn't actually receive all the protein because it's not even cooked down enough for your body to break it down, and you're just making yourself suffer through hell.
I like this scene here when he's running through like the street. Look at that nice shot that is. God damn.
He's just suffering. He's suffering through.
He's suffering.
Don't forget, this is December.
It's 40 degrees. It's cold, and he's not in great shape, right? And he gets
and it's a city.
I've done the Rocky run, by the way. I've done the Rocky run at the museum. Yeah,
he's holding his side. He can't breathe. He's
halfway up there, and I throw up those eggs everywhere, man.
Oh yeah, those stairs are no joke. Like this doesn't do it justice. Like when you're standing there in front of them, you realize how many stairs it really is.
I like this when he goes to see Paulie in the meat locker. He's like, "Does it snow in here?"
Yo, Paulie, is this the zoo? Because there's a lot of animals here.
Yeah. I can't get me out of this stinking freeze. I gotta. He keeps talking about Gaza. It's the third time he's fucking. So he gives him free meat though.
Yeah, he gives them like the scrap meats essentially.
Yeah, the shit stuff. Yeah,
the stuff that they can't really sell.
Paulie's character is kind of just that guy that he does the right thing, but expecting something in return.
Something in return always. Yeah. And he gets mad at Rocky.
He's a typical Italian, is what you're telling me. I do this for you.
Listen, that's not true. Yeah. Yes, it's very true.
You gotta do something for me. I got you my sister.
Yeah, I gave you that.
They actually do. They have a back and forth that's like that early on, where like he's like, "Yeah, I got you your first date." It was like I forget exactly what he said. What he says about it, but she was.
Paulie gets mad at him there. Paulie gets
this
mad.
This moment here too is great because you see Rocky snap. Like you see him get angry, and like you realize like, oh, he's been retaining all this anger for so long, and he's letting it out. Like
you're breaking the ribs.
Yeah,
you do that.
Paulie kind of just like cowers and lowers his hat, and he's just like, "You're breaking the ribs."
He fucked up his knuckles for real in this scene too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, like to this day, they're flat.
Yep.
Well, I mean,
he was literally punching cow ribs. It's not. They're not exactly soft.
You can't just go buck wild and beat your meat anywhere you want.
Paulie always drinking. Paulie. Your brother's a good. Oh yeah, this is where he
They
starts.
do have the cool. They do have the sound effect though. If you listen closely, you can hear the ribs snapping.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
It's not like they don't go over the top where it sounds like a tree branch.
It's just enough to where you can notice it. Yeah. See, look,
Look at
she got that goodness from him, and now she wants it all the time.
Yeah, she gets the sausage, Italian sausage, and then she wants the Italian sausage all the time.
They call me Italian stallion for a couple of reasons.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
He honestly looks like he just came in from out the cold, from having a hard workout
Yeah.
day. I mean, the red face and everything. He just looks like,
Yo, Adrian, I know you're new to this whole sexual experience.
Yeah.
There's this thing called shrinkage.
Listen.
I'm gonna have to wait a little while.
But again, like Cassio said before, he's a nice guy. He feels bad, right? He's exhausted, but he's like, all right, I'm sorry. Let's go.
you
Let's go.
want me to
bang."
cook the meat? I'll cook the meat.
Yeah. There he is training. It's fucking sweatpants. He's got a hole in the crotch, a hole in the fucking knee. He's like, Jesus.
This part right here.
It is weird. I never really put two and two together. He's the only one not wearing shorts. I never really.
No,
noticed.
he's not.
Yeah. He's got to cut weight.
Yeah.
No, he doesn't. He's heavyweight. He doesn't have to cut weight.
What I didn't realize about this film is that Rocky is like 20 pounds lighter than Apollo Creed. I didn't realize that. I was like,
yes,
what
yeah,
the
right.
hell?
Yeah. Well, he's a lot
When you're
shorter
at
than him,
heavyweight,
so-
when you're at
Apollo's
heavyweight,
taller.
anything as long as you're at, if you're above the heavyweight, you can be at any weight at that point.
Anyway, yeah.
He's 202 pounds, I believe, in this, or maybe
Yeah, and he-
or something like that. Or it's like,
This is where he
No,
tells him about
Rocky's 190 and Apollo is like 210.
maybe he's 202 in the second fight.
Maybe in the, he gets a little bit. Yeah. This is where he tells Marciano had a footwork problem. He's like, you're a lot like Marciano.
There's no way Marciano did this. This is I call
No.
it
I like how he yells. Like, hey, Rocky, get out of here! You pet shot,
You bunch of whores.
You lay up hard
wearing
and women
sweatpants with a ball
weakened
hanging out.
legs.
But I really like this. Go, let her go train you.
That is such a weird superstition too. It's like been scientifically proven
It's not
multiple
true,
times.
yeah.
It's not true. It doesn't do anything to your testosterone levels, at least not long term. Like temporarily, but not for
Right.
like. It's like don't like don't do it like right before the fight.
No.
I think it's been scientifically proven that you crave sandwiches afterwards. So
I had a guy. He had a fight and he got beat bad in this fight. And upstairs, as he started crying and he's like, I knew I shouldn't have had sex the night before. I knew it. It's my girlfriend's fault." I'm like, nobody. No,
Has nothing to do with it, man.
No, you just suck.
You just suck.
Like,
You can't say that, but
you're just
like,
not a
"No,
good
buddy."
fighter. It's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I like how he
I
sees
mean,
Adrian.
I literally knew people who did full jiu-jitsu tournaments drunk. So like,
Oh yeah, I can see
yeah,
that.
yeah.
That would be fun. That would be fun. I'd like to see Whitey do a jiu-jitsu tournament drunk. Bless his heart. Bless your heart, Whitey.
we'll work on it. Give me a minute.
We'll get training done.
Yeah.
Yeah, he sees Adrian with his jacket. He's like, "Oh yeah, you're gonna be a heartbreaker." But then he gets butt kiss.
She has like the best hat collection.
Yeah, right.
Like she has like all these
Sure.
like great like period piece kind of hats that she had.
She's hot. I thought she was hot.
Butkus was running with him. Oh yeah, this is
That was
where
his
he
real
brings-
dog too. That was really his.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he
He's
really
slowly
needed to
gonna
run.
tell
That dude's a fat ass.
This is where Paulie calls the news people to see him hit the
to beat his meat.
You hit the
Yeah.
That's better. That's a better way to say it. Yeah.
Everyone gather around while the Italian beats his meat.
I like how Paulie keeps sticking his head in the camera. they're like he's putting his face in the camera.
I was
again.
I love this part. I love this part. Hey,
Yeah, and
Chad,
he sees
you
this.
better
right?
check
He's
this
like,
boy out.
Yeah, he's like,
Really
oh shit.
It really
Sorry.
shows where both fighters' head is at. Like,
Yeah.
Rocky
100%.
just wants
Yep.
to be good enough to even qualify to be in this fight, and all Apollo is concerned with is
All
selling the
business.
fight and
Yeah.
all the business aspect. of
He
it.
wasn't really hungry, for this fight, and he didn't even have the eye of the tiger.
Yeah,
If anything,
but
he just saw it
the
as
third one. Is
he
pretty
just
much
saw
what it is.
Apollo Creed just saw it as an exhibition match.
Yeah.
100%. And he's like, oh shit, this guy's
Yeah,
breaking
Rocky
ribs on
just
me.
one of the last 15 rounds, right? That was.
Well, he knows
whole
Rocky
fight
has
for the
nothing to
last-
lose.
Yeah,
right?
nobody
He's like,
has
this guy
ever
might be-
gone the distance with Creed. That's
Yeah.
the whole thing. Is he's knocked out every opponent he's ever faced, and Rocky's whole thing is he's essentially a walking piece of granite. So he's
Yeah.
like, well, if I can make it the whole way, then I at least accomplished something. You know, he knows
yeah.
he knows full well he can't beat him right now.
I forgot he was in Grumpy Old Men.
Yeah, he was the grumpy one.
He was the old man.
Well, he was the grumpiest old man.
Yeah.
I didn't like the first movie. Grumpy Old Men, I'm not a fan of. I love the second movie though.
You like the second one better?
Grumpier Old Men is a pisser.
Yeah,
it's really
yeah,
cool
you're
to have
right.
Sophia
You're right.
Loren in
They're
it,
both.
too.
Yeah, I just love the
Her?
actors, right?
Sophia Loren's mother and him, like their scenes are the best.
Like a moose's butt. Yeah. Yeah, I do. Those are good movies. Yeah, no, I haven't watched those in a long time. Wait, isn't the first one a Thanksgiving movie? Christmas movie? I think, right?
I just remember it being snowy. I don't remember if it was.
Yeah, well, it's fucking Minnesota. It's always snowing. But
it was in June in Minnesota.
That's what I mean. This is where Paulie comes in and hears Rocky just kind of not talking shit, but he's just calling Paulie out on some stuff. And Paulie's like, "Hey, yeah, I don't want nothing. Get out of my house." Drunk.
I can't help him. I can't get him.
It's cold outside, Paulie.
I got a hole where my balls is, you know. I can't be getting out there.
Adrian can't warm me up outside.
It's baseball.
Rocky takes him down.
I don't know if you can go back, but like that's fine.
Oh,
The baseball bat always bothered me because it has like a sawed off top.
It's not a real baseball. Yeah. I'm a pig. Oh yeah, he goes, "You're a pig," and he starts beating the shit out of everything.
Then Rocky takes him down.
Yeah.
I don't sweat you. I don't sweat you.
But I like how she snaps. Like Cassie was saying before, like she's starting to fight back a little bit, and she finally just has it. And I think it's because she's more confident. And let's face it, she knows that if she really wanted to, she can just go shack up with Rocky, which she does eventually. So
in that fence,
she calls him out on everything.
Lives, so.
Yeah, she calls him out on everything. I like that. She's busted.
Yeah, that was such a weird line to me.
Yeah,
she popped.
I mean, dude, you were basically picking her out. What did you expect to happen?
Yeah,
no shit. And like you want a roommate?
Rocky, I told you that you could like have sex with my sister, but you couldn't take her virginity. Like, what's going on?
Yeah, like you literally orchestrated this entire event.
Pimped me out.
It's like the concept, especially back then, of being 30 as a woman and not being married yet. Like, 100%. He's trying to orchestrate her getting, leaving, being married, whatever. And it's like for him to then be like shitting on her for it working. It's like, what the fuck?
What do you want me to do? Right?
I thought you were just gonna give him a handy J, not show him your turtle.
Rock, I told you the back door. Don't you know what that means?
What are you doing, Rock? This is my favorite line in the whole fucking movie.
He saw your gooch.
You're gonna eat lightning and crap thunder.
This thing, I want to know who the guy is, though. He says, like the guy says, you're gonna eat lightning.
Yeah, I know that's a good point. Like the guy says, what guy? Who are you talking to?
Jeff. His name is Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff. This is
like Jeff says.
Jeff says.
This
is the best cut man.
Yeah.
Honestly, I used to corner for not for boxing. I used to corner for MMA fights, and being good at as a good cut man,
skill, right? Yeah, it's important
to be able to stop someone from bleeding quickly is really, really difficult.
Huge.
Here we go.
That's massive.
We get the training montage. He's carrying bricks.
Yeah, I always love that he does like really, and it's all movies. It's every one of them.
Even Rocky 4, yeah, where the other guys in the
only one that maybe you could say he doesn't like. He does do the beach run in the third one, but he always does kind of unorthodox training method.
Yeah,
that I love.
Completely agree.
Well, even in Rambo, when he was in prison, when he went to get him in, I think it's Rambo 2, maybe 3. When he's doing the sledgehammer against the rocks, he's breaking rocks with the sledgehammer.
Well, he does the sledgehammer in Rocky Balboa as well. They get like a keg, or he's bashing a keg with a sledgehammer.
Everybody else had jackhammers, and they were just jacking, and he was
Rocky 5 was such a misstep.
Well, Rocky 5, they have a training montage, but it's different. He's the coach, so it's weird.
It's God, what a miss that movie.
He fights street style in Rocky 5. He goes.
He fights street style in every movie.
They try to add hip hop into a Rocky movie because it was 90s. And I was
they should have just given him a Bowflex for part 5. Could have made some money off of that thing.
So one of my favorite aspects about this, so the first time he does this run, and the second time he does this run, are actually recorded only an hour apart from each other. They basically waited. They did one before the sunrise and then one after, just to give that time differential look. but it was literally like he did it, they waited, and then they did it again. And
They
they
finally
reversed
got up-
this actually. If they reversed if you watch when he does his little dance, it looks awkward because they actually originally had it zooming out, and they realized that was kind of it didn't work. So they wanted to zoom in, so they reversed the whole clip. So he's actually dancing backwards.
Oh no shit!
Oh,
next time you watch it, you'll notice now.
Yeah, now I will. But look at this asshole dancing backwards. Thanks, Dark Hour. You ruined my.
Sorry. I spent like 30 hours looking up random facts about the movie for my essay the one time.
Yeah,
it does look awkward though when he dances. I was just like,
yeah, well, he's Italian. We don't know how to dance. We know how to cook and fix cars and do cement.
Whoa! What about John Travolta? You know, he had a whole movie.
John Travolta. He's a fugazi.
Oh.
he doesn't know anybody's name. Damn it!
You got the colors wrong on my shorts.
yeah. You got the suit.
I'm wearing white pants with
white
a red stripe.
It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't.
By the end of the fight, it'll all be red anyways.
The whole fucking ring is blood. Yeah. And I like this scene though. I like how he goes there because he's worried. He's like, holy shit, this is really happening, right? And I got to fight.
He also probably had done the weigh-ins, so he's probably actually like they don't show the weigh-in, but this is probably him like over like right after it.
Yeah,
y'all got my boobies bigger than Adrian's.
Way too much. I'm gonna kill her.
Way too much booby.
But yeah, this is where he goes back and he finally gives this great speech about how he just wants to go the distance. He doesn't even have to win. He just wants to prove himself, right? That he's not another bum from the neighborhood.
Well, this captures like in Dark Hour, you've probably seen this. So real fighters, they go through this the night before of like, and you got your seconds and you got your group with you pumping you up to give you constantly give you the confidence because you get those doubts in your head. They're going into the ring, and you start doubting yourself just a little bit. And that's why you surround yourself with people that are kind of like yes men.
So I never boxed. I've trained boxing. I've trained Muay Thai. I've trained
MMA.
And MMA. But I never boxed. And but I did a lot of jiu-jitsu tournaments, which has a similar kind of concept. Like
I was going to say the mental gymnastics you must go through the night before a big fight.
Oh, it's brutal, man.
So I used to do this thing where I would try my best to time like. So I would always weigh in the night before because if you weighed in day of, it sucked. But I would always weigh in the night before. And I would always try to time it so that way I would get to the arena like maybe a half hour before my division went. And if for some reason it was running behind, I tended not to do well if I was sitting around too long. I had a lot of trouble amping myself up. I could do it once, maybe twice. There's people who could do it constantly. They could just do it over and over again. I was never that guy. So if I would show up and I had to sit around for like 2-3 hours, I generally lost those matches. If I showed up and I had about 20 minutes to a half hour, I usually won. So I had it timed pretty well and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, sounds like me before I eat a pizza.
it like you remember The Contender, the TV series, and then there
that was with
Stallone and Leonard.
Stallone, yeah.
It was like basically the Ultimate Fighter for boxers.
The Ultimate Fighter, but you get to see the struggles of the fighter, and that's Rocky did that way before. Like you see
before anybody did,
doubts creep in, and obviously you're fighting the caliber of
of Apollo Creed, probably the best fighter in the world.
It's like in their alternative history, he's pretty much the best, like
best ever. Yeah, like it's. I like how Adrian's looking at him here. Win, lose, or draw, I'm getting that sausage tonight, boy.
Like I literally spent the day with Randy Couture when he was in Winnipeg here and talked to him about his upcoming match because he was the champ at the time, and the stuff that he was telling me is insane. Like the diet, when he would go for a run, he'd have his headphones in, and his headphones wasn't playing music. It was all talking about. It was him talking about being put in certain positions and all this how to escape. Like the stuff that he did, it was insane.
It's incredible, right?
Yeah.
It is hard. It is very difficult to be able to be able to do it that level. I can't even imagine of being able to. Because not only do you, it's your livelihood too. It's so
is this common for boxers to get this shit sprayed up their nose?
Shit he's spraying up his
nose? Is it keep their
saline solution?
Yeah, the breathing.
not super common. It's
I was just wondering why they were doing that.
You got a waterboard before a fight. That's how winning's done.
Some
you
guys,
like my
some
robe?
guys do that because if they have like a sinus infection, or if they people who have broken their nose a lot might have like the deviated septum to clear it out as good. But that doesn't make sense for Rocky.
Yeah.
Paulie, when you say Paulie got $3,000, I get the robe. He gets $3,000.
Some guys like the nasal spray. Some guys did the saline spray, to get the nice rinse, so that it was nice and clear, so they didn't have to do.
But like they're forcing that crap up his nose until he's like, ugh.
But a lot of it's
Vaseline solution. You really need to like get it in
there.
Yeah.
Because
I'll be spending 10 minutes after that just hacking and coughing.
I like how Paulie here's like, look, I got me a new suit. It cost me $250. And he's like, Rocky's like, oh, okay.
I got me a date. Look at my date. My date cost me.
But he's Philly's hometown boy, man. He's getting love.
I've never seen so many Italians in one place in my
One
life.
place. He said that. I didn't say that.
I don't know if he said. I don't remember if he said that in this one or the second one.
I think it was the second one.
Yeah.
This entrance though, like how many fighters after this did the same entrance? Like not like that, but like did the big dramatic entrance. Like Prince Namid did that, and
George Washington Carver over here.
Look at this.
I love Apollo because he's just so fucking over the top. He knows how to sell a fight. I mean,
he's loving
we know where Floyd Mayweather gets it from.
His inspiration comes from Apollo.
It is extremely so. There's one thing that's extremely like they wouldn't do. He would not be allowed to put his gloves on in the ring.
Yeah.
They have to inspect those before the match. You have to have it sealed. You have to have it taped. The referee has to inspect it on the tape. Sorry, not the type, the tape. And you can't because they have to have the time. It has to be done a certain way. They wouldn't have allowed him to do it that way.
Right. He could have anything in there.
Yeah.
I like so they actually bring in a real boxer here. It's
Joe Frazier.
Joe Frazier,
which was cool. That was a cool touch.
He's from Philadelphia, Joe Frazier.
Yeah.
He's like, hey, my appearance costs more than this movie. Hey, how you doing?
You better make some money off the rock.
Another short boxer that was unreal. That guy would take over the body.
Was good. Strong.
Yep.
Yeah, he fought guys that were always taller than him, so he would just rain up on their ribs, I guess, because we were these people.
Now, the difference in punching sound effects in part 1 and then part 2 is amazing.
Did part 2? It was different, right? But it wasn't 3 yet, where you had like
they got more intense every movie. But part 2,
Rocky 4, I thought it was like mines going.
Well, they had a good budget. People believed in part 2. Like they knew it was going to be a winner.
I'll show you guys. There's this great. There was like they took like a bunch of guys from ESPN and they did like a fake 30 for 30 talking about the Rocky 4 fight. One of the greatest things you'll ever see. I'm not sure if it would like get your stream pulled down, but we we have to figure out a way to show it to you.
Show it, yeah. I love this here. I don't know if I can. Yeah, I mean, this is filmed really well.
So they kept a lot of the backdrops really dark because they didn't have a lot of extras for this scene.
Yeah.
So they would basically move them around as they needed, and that's why it's so dark in the background.
It's like a PS1 fighting game. They're just going to kind of get rid of the
keep the focus on the people. But I love this. He knocks him out in the first round, right?
Not knocks him out. He knocks him down.
He knocked him down. Jesus. Yeah,
but it's such a surprise.
Yeah, and it's crazy because we were talking about that moment where it's first for everybody, right? Like this is Apollo's first time being knocked down.
Yeah,
and the way Carl Weathers plays it off is like really like as if he's shocked too.
Yeah.
He plays it really well.
Carl Weathers like makes it really like clear that he was not taking it seriously at all. It's just like this is all for show. It's a showman's match. And then when Rocky just up and knocks him down, he's just like, oh shit.
This is a real fight.
He's taking this real.
Hit. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Rocky's completely serious. He was just like, he was doing his showmanship thing. He thought like, oh, this guy's a bum. I'll take him out in the 3rd round. That's what he said. 3 rounds. He was telling the crowd. And that's
what is it?
Creed
and then,
three.
Yeah,
Creed 3.
Duke Evers, his coach, even says like he doesn't think this is a joke. He thinks this is
he thinks this is real. Yeah,
he thinks this is real.
He's like, look at the TV, Creed. He's over here beating his meat, and you're over there counting money.
And it's funny. It's
no
funny
one has
like
actually. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jay. My thing.
Oh no, I was just gonna say. It's reminiscent of Tyson versus Buster Douglas. Tyson didn't take that fight seriously, And Buster Douglas went to town on him with the jab, right?
Yeah. Well, the one it's inspired by is the Chuck Wepner fight, which was Ali was basically out of opponents, and they took like I think Wepner was like the 12th ranked fighter or something like that. It was like it was a guy who normally wouldn't get a title shot, but he was just essentially out of opponents. From Bayonne, New Jersey, the Bayonne Bleeder.
Bayonne.
And he knocked him down. It was not under the same circumstances. It was a body shot, and Wepner even admitted later that he stepped on Ali's foot because he got frustrated with the dancing. So he stepped on his foot and punched him just to take him down.
Unbelievable. But yeah, this is where we get Rocky's first broken nose ever. And I guess if you're gonna get your nose broken, get it broken by the greatest boxer ever.
He's like, oh shit, it happened.
I like how he goes to the side. He broke my nose. How does it look? It's an improvement. Such a great line.
Go for the ribs.
Go for the ribs.
Go for the ribs.
Yeah. You're good at punching those.
Yeah, and Paulo. The funny thing is, if you watch, I don't remember because it was a little bit of time since I seen this. Like the boxing scenes were good, but they really moved the whole fight really quick after that first round.
I was kind of like surprised by it watching it again because they just went.
It's like boom, you're right into the 13th round.
Round 3 to like round 8. It's like wait,
it's quick. It's really quick. Yeah,
the beginning of the montage of fights, because that's a montage of fights.
The second movie was much longer, if I remember the last fight.
Yes, it was.
Each one got.
I love how they show the promoter.
The third one only has 3 rounds in it, so
it just feels. It just feels.
They show the rounds in their entirety. That's why it feels longer.
I love how they show the promoter. His eyes are just bulging. He's like, "Oh, we got something going on. Wow, this is dollar signs." Like you could just see him thinking, like, "Ching, ching, ching, ching."
Look at Adrian. She's worried. She's like, "Oh, I gotta come see my man."
I think this is the spot right here when Mickey's telling him to stay down, I believe.
Yeah, because he's like, you're done. He's like,
in my opinion, is the most powerful scene in the whole movie.
Dude, he just keeps getting up.
Because up to this point, like basically he's telling him you have nothing left. No one is going. If you go to the 15th round or not, it doesn't matter. You've proved your point here. And he doesn't want, and now you got to remember, up to this point, we've had this whole Mickey is kind of his father figure, but a shitty father figure. And he's watching a guy who he basically is his adoptive son basically get beaten to death.
He's fucking dying.
Like,
look at him.
You got him saying, may have broke my ribs, and then he's over here. And this is like the coolest little scene where they cut him, and it's like, wow. Yeah, they did get on that. I feel
like this guy's just screaming,
at least making it look good.
And that was, and when they cut his eye, it comes back. So it's like his eye is so damaged later in the second movie that becomes
blind, right?
He's partially blind. Yeah, essentially detached, and that's one of the reasons why he's like kind of keeping his distance.
Yeah,
he can't see.
This last round was great. They just keep beating the shit out. Look at this. I love the way it's filmed.
The rib shot. He's protecting.
And this was the first round that was filmed. This was the first.
Yeah, I know. Isn't it crazy? Yeah,
because they put all the makeup on first and progressively peeled it off.
Yeah,
that's Sylvester Stallone's dad right here with the red jacket on. Whatever.
Piece of shit.
His brother is in like 4 of the movies too.
Yeah.
Well, he's singing in the with the barrels,
the alleyway. He sings in the alleyway, and then in the third movie, he sings at the like training session.
Dude, his brother was so pissed off. Like, and initially when he became famous, Stallone, because I forgot what's his brother's name again. Frank Stallone was supposed to be the musician in the family. Was working towards that to be the famous part. And then he goes, Rocky becomes famous, and everybody forgot about me.
Like, everybody. You're his brother. Okay.
Yeah.
The brother of.
Take it back. There you go. It is my favorite song. Yeah, and this is where Rocky's pissed here. He's like, they're asking him questions. They're on top.
He doesn't care.
Think of it, I don't want to read that.
The amount of water and glycerin on his face right now must be daunting.
I love you. I love you.
I love this movie so much.
I'm old, Frank. I mean, I'm old, Jay. I don't remember shit anymore. I am old.
Yeah. You know how many guys named Frank that Cannoli has known in his life?
You was going to say my dad's name is Frank.
Oh, shit.
He can't remember if he remembers every Frankie he's ever met. That's actually a joke.
Italians are so uncreative of names, dude. You know, hey, Tony, Frank, Tony, Joe.
I literally said this to somebody recently. I was like, if you ever meet somebody from Jersey, just ask them if they know Frankie. I guarantee you they do.
Oh, yeah, Frankie. Who doesn't know Frankie?
Oh, you know Frankie too?
At the end, he even though he lost the fight by decision, he still won, though, didn't he?
Split decision. It was a split decision.
Which is very key because it leads up to the fact that it's basically an embarrassment for Apollo.
Yeah, for Apollo.
And apparently for the black people of the world. Apparently, it's in that one letter, it's like you're a disgrace to your people.
Your people. How about you spend time with your kids? He throws the shit.
He knocked the black out of you.
He knocked the black.
I always found that amazing that was like the letter he gets is so reminiscent of like modern Twitter.
Absolutely.
Dude, yeah.
Like you suck, go die. Like
instead of a hashtag, it's a fucking letter.
Hashtag fixed fight. Like it's wrote that in the fucking letter.
I can't believe you lost. For on God.
I will not neither confirm or deny that's my father's real name. So Jay, I'm sorry. I won't. I just won't do it, damn it. Well, since Vex isn't here, I guess I'm trivia boy tonight, so I can do that real quick. And it was enough. I think most people kind of know the biggest trivia about this, but just a few things. First thing, after the producers Irwin Winkler and Robert Chartoff became interested in the script, get this, they offered Stallone an unprecedented $350,000 for the rights. That's how much they didn't want him in the movie because they didn't think people would go see him. So initially they were talking to Robert Redford, Ryan O'Neal, Burt Reynolds, Nick Nolte, or James Caan to play his role. And I was like, Jesus, thank God they didn't pick any of those people. Very popular actors at the time, though.
James Caan, maybe,
but
Robert Redford back then probably might have been able.
Maybe, I mean, they could
have
have
in pretty good shape at that point.
It's just
I think
like
Burt Reynolds would have been such a better actor if he would have took more serious roles, or if he would have played more villains. I think that he has the perfect face for a piece of shit, like an asshole villain character.
I can see that.
He's forever my bandit.
Yep. But Stallone had
my favorite movie of all time. Boogie.
Oh, dude, it's so good.
I mean, he's insane in Deliverance, and he was fucking Deliverance too.
Yeah, he did a lot of
squeal like a piggy.
Oh, the movie's fucked up, man. So Stallone had $106 in the bank, no car, and was trying to sell his dog Butkus, because he couldn't afford to feed him, but he refused to sell unless they agreed to allow him to star in the film. So they agreed on the condition that Stallone continue to work as a writer without a fee, and that he would work as an actor for scale. Irwin Winkler and Chartoff purchased the film. Yeah, Henry Winkler was his friend, though. He actually helped him when he moved to Hollywood. He put him up in a freaking hotel, Winkler, because they worked together in The Lords of Flatbush, I guess, early on. So they were really close, and he's to this day says that that dude got him helped him get his start because he helped him out, which is nice. Such a nice guy. What was it? After Winkler and Chartoff purchased the film, they took it to United Artists, who envisioned a budget of $2 million with an established star, like we gave the names before. When Winkler and Chartoff told United Artists that they could only get the screenplay if Stallone starred, UA cut the budget to $1 million and had Chartoff and Winkler sign agreements that they would be personally liable if the film went over the budget. Final cost was $1.1 million, and they mortgaged their houses for the last $100,000. That's how much they believed in it.
Wow.
So pretty wild.
I remember I remember when I was doing my research for my video that they basically the actors would get the cheapest food possible, and for the catering. It was crazy, right? It was like yesterday's pizza was like what they would end up getting.
Whatever they can get for the cheapest amount. Yeah. And then of course,
guys, cheese.
Sorry, it's crazy. It's the highest grossing film of 76.
Yeah. We'll get into the budget here. I'll give you the total it made for that time period. Holy shit. Rocky dog Butkus, yes, was obviously his real dog. After the ending of the film, Stallone kept the two turtles, Cuff and Link. And as of June 2019, still had them alive and well.
They appear again in Rocky Balboa.
Yep.
They're still.
And I think we were talking about this during most of the scenes in Rocky jogging through Philly were shot guerrilla style. No permits, no equipment, no extras. Shots where he runs past the moored boat For example, the crew were simply driving by the docks, and the director John Avildsen saw the boat and thought it would make a good visual. So Stallone simply got out of the van and ran along the side of the boat. Avildsen filmed him from the side door. A similar story concerns the famous shot of Rocky jogging through the food market. As he runs, the stall keepers and the people on the sidewalk can clearly be looking out in bemusement, like, where the fuck, who is this guy? Yep. Why is he doing this here? While this works in the context of the film to suggest they're looking at Rocky, in reality, they had no idea why this man was running through the town, which is pretty crazy to think like they were doing this with nothing. They didn't have, which that's how films were made back then, you know. The monologue which Rocky delivers after turning down Mickey, Burgess Meredith offered to manage him, was a completely improvised on set by Stallone. We were talking about this. He was since explained that he was heavily influenced by the fact that the bathroom of the tiny apartment in which he was shooting really did smell like death. So there you go.
You take a Burgess in the bathroom, you know.
Burgess Meredith.
Yeah.
Here we go. The ice ring scene was originally written to feature 300 extras, but the production couldn't afford so many people. So when Stallone turned up to shoot the scene, to his horror, there was only one extra. So Stallone hastily threw together the scene, and you get what you get in the movie because of that, which I think plays better. I like it. It's more intimate. It's just them two, you know?
Yeah.
In the film, the poster above the ring before Rocky fights Apollo shows Rocky wearing red shorts. We already got that. How it was an actual mistake made by the props department. So he left it in the movie. There you go. Fucking props, man. Get it right. Here we go. During his audition, Carl Weathers was sparring with Sylvester Stallone and actually punched him on the chin. Stallone told Weathers to calm down, as it was only an audition, and Weathers said that if he was allowed to audition with a real actor, not a stand-in, he would be able to do a lot better. Ouch! Director Avildsen smiled and told Weathers that Stallone was the real actor and the writer. Weathers looked at Stallone thoughtfully for a moment and said, well, maybe he'll get better. And Stallone immediately offered him the role right there on the spot. I like that. It's funny. Imagine that you hit the director and the writer and you're like, oh shit. Oops. Stallone and Carl Weathers suffered injuries during the shooting of the final fight. Stallone suffered bruised ribs and Weathers suffered a damaged nose, the opposite injuries of what their characters had.
Yeah.
And there is the one scene like when he shoves Stallone. They actually were like they came to real blows and they were like, let's just leave it in. Screw it. It's real, you know.
Yeah. This is funny. According to Burt Young, during filming of the scene where Paulie walks home drunk, an actual drunk wandered onto the location and told Young he wasn't acting drunk convincingly. So Young asked the man to demonstrate it, and Young copied it walking into the house. That's awesome.
You are drunk enough.
Yeah. The iconic shot of Rocky running up the steps of Philly Art Museum came about because of the Steadicam inventor. There you go, Garrett Brown. Brown, who was from Philly, was getting ready to fly to Los Angeles to try to sell his newly invented Steadicam device. He had shot some test footage following people around corridors and room to room, but he wanted to be able to shoot something that even the most experienced filmmakers would look at and wonder, how the hell did he do that? He came up with the idea for his girlfriend to run up and down the museum steps while he followed closely behind her. Using this footage, Brown sold the camera on his first day in Los Angeles, and 7 months later, Avildsen, when he was prepping for Rocky, saw the footage and immediately took him up on his offer and got the camera.
There's also a fun fact about that scene. So there was the camera, like the battery broke.
Yeah.
It froze, and they rigged it because he was the cameraman. He knew how to rig it. He rigged it with car batteries.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's fucking wild, man.
They basically put car batteries on it and ran with them.
Yeah, this is where Cassie was saying it was the highest grossing movie of 76, yes. And then prior to his breakthrough role in the film, Stallone was earning $36 a week as an usher. God damn, could you imagine?
Dang.
Even then, that's fucking terrible. I think most people know this too. So go ahead.
Now saying like he can definitely, you could feel his connection with Rocky as a character. I mean,
100%.
Inside and out.
It comes through on the camera. Yeah. Stallone was inspired to write the screenplay after seeing the Chuck Wepner Muhammad Ali fight on March 24th, 1975. Let's see, 36-year-old Wepner was considered a moderate talent, but no one expected him to last more than 3 rounds against Ali. The longer the fight went, the more shocked people became. Wepner even managed to knock Ali down in the 9th round, although Ali always maintains that Wepner was standing on his foot when he fell. There you go. Ali pummeled Wepner mercilessly for the next 6 rounds, breaking his nose and opening large gashes above both his eyes. No matter how hard Ali hit him, though, Wepner kept moving forward and kept fighting. Eventually, with 19 seconds left in the 15th and final round, Ali scored a technical knockout, TKO. 40 years later, Wepner's story was adapted into a movie called Chuck, which I don't think I've ever seen.
No, I've never seen it either.
Yeah. So that's where he got the inspiration from. Let's see. Stallone quit smoking cigarettes while making the film because he was getting out of breath. Yeah, I can kind of see that. Good. Thanks for doing that. Burgess Meredith got the part of Mickey because the other actors they considered for the role were insulted that Sylvester Stallone wanted them to read for it. Jesus. That's pretty wild. Rocky is not the character's actual name. His real name is Robert Balboa. This was a scene in a rough script from the second film. He took the nickname from the real, obviously, Rocky Marciano. This is the first.
Recycled that name too.
Yeah. That's right. Oh my God, good point. The first sports film to win an Academy Award for Best Picture. Wow.
Yeah.
There you go.
Do you guys think it should have got it? I mean, that's a big debate.
I mean,
what other movie was it up against?
What was it up against?
Taxi Driver, All the President's Men, Bound for Glory, and Network.
Bound for Glory is actually the first movie to use a Steadicam.
That's right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good point.
I think honestly, it caused a movement in like the.
It was a different take for the 70s too, because everything was so fucking dark in this thing.
Yeah.
And it showed hope. I would say because it can. Yeah, I think it. I mean, those movies were great that you just mentioned.
It's very debated, but
yeah. I mean, Taxi Driver. Those movies. Yeah. Sorry, what were you gonna say, Cass? My bad.
Yeah, just I don't know. I'd give it to Rocky, but
sure.
It is. Yeah. That was a.
If those other movies would have won, I don't think people would have been like, "Oh God, those are terrible," you know. But
well, it didn't make me feel like slicing my wrist after I saw it. So
there you go. That's why. This was unique. So I
didn't feel like killing myself after
the
movie.
That's a win-win, you know.
That's how winning is done.
Yeah.
Although
Burgess
Stallone
Meredith and Burt Young were nominated for best supporting role.
It always sucks when two people from the same movie go up against each other.
Somebody's going to lose, somebody's going to win.
And more often than not, neither wins because like the voting process kind of like almost eliminates them just because of the way the votes happen.
This is interesting. Although Stallone famously wrote this at the first draft in the 3 days, it went through 9 sizable rewrites before it was purchased by Winkler and Chardoff. Get this. Originally, Stallone's much darker depicted Mickey was a bitter old racist, and the film ended with Rocky throwing the fight after realizing he did not want to be a part of the professional boxing world. Jesus. Talk about a different tone. That would have fit the 70s, though.
It would have fit boxing for real.
I was just going to say.
It would have suited his lifestyle, too, right? Because he was involved with the mob.
Yeah.
So how much did this movie totally gross?
Yeah, so we can get to that because the rest of the trivia is just basic stuff.
Okay.
So the movie, what was 1.1 million is the budget generally, and it made so domestically it made $117 million. Internationally, it only made 15,000, but you know, whatever. Fuck the international market. But
at that point, also they didn't.
Yeah.
Movies weren't distributed the same way back then.
No.
So like they might make it to like one country in Europe. It was like
the movie was shot in 28 days, which is fucking crazy to think about how movies get shot. Now they take 3 years and 85,000 reshoots. It's crazy. So and so this movie obviously was a massive financial success, put him on the map, changed his life. And then he actually did in the Sly documentary, which I forgot, he did 2 movies after this that bombed. I think one was called Fist, and then what was the other one? He wrote his own movie after that. God damn it.
It was because they were worried about him because he directed the second one.
Yeah,
Paradise
Island.
Paradise Island.
And he was really upset when that failed because he put he set his heart and soul into that. And people were questioning. He got a lot of shit. Like, this guy came out with Rocky. Like, what the hell is he going to do next? And he does these 2 bombs. And people are like, God damn it. And so he started getting shit. So when he made Rocky 2, they talked about this, Jay, if you remember, the parts where Apollo's getting hate mail, He goes that Stallone said that was me. That's the shit I was getting. So I put it into the movie, just switched it to Apollo. I was like, it's fucking genius, man. He just made, he put a lot of his personal shit into his movies, which as the full creative control guy,
what makes it good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So, I guess at this point we can do the rankings. I know people hate doing rankings of movies. It's like what they give it in a score. Use any scale you want, Cassie. Whatever scale you want to use. How do you rank this movie? What score do you give it?
It's an amazing thumbs up. This is a movie I can go back to whenever. I tend to go down the whole line up until 4 when I do watch Rocky, because you can relate to it so much. It doesn't matter if I'm a female. It doesn't matter. I still relate to Rocky. Anybody can relate.
You just gender yourself? The fuck, Cassie?
Yeah.
I wasn't gonna assume anything. But...
Did you use a pronoun?
Yeah. What is wrong with you?
What's going on?
Dude, if you had to give it like a number score though, or you can do 1 through 5, A, B, whatever you want to do.
I mean, I don't really give number scores.
That's true. That's all right. You did say thumbs up. That's fair. That's
genuine.
Fair.
It's an elite film of its caliber.
It's fantastic. Yeah, it is. It really is. And I'm like you. I go through up and down the line. I will say though, again, for the 100th time, if you have not seen the recut of the 4th movie, please watch it. It is a completely different film. I mean, night and day. And I do think it's better. It's different.
I didn't even know there was a recut.
Dude, I'm telling you, go watch it.
Really
I own it. I bought it right away because I remember he took a lot.
I went to theaters to see it. They had a limited release in theaters, and I went to go see it.
It's fantastic.
I'm in Canada. We don't get that shit here.
We don't get you.
Who said you're? Who said staying?
It snows in fucking July in Canada. What do you want to? Yeah.
We don't have July in Canada.
Watch it. Go if you can rent it. Even rent it, but you're gonna want to buy it after you see it. I think it is.
It is honestly, in my opinion, the superior cut of the film.
It is. It's a better movie. It's definitely a better movie. It feels like a real.
It feels like a real movie. Like the original cut of the 4th one feels like a glorified music video.
It is. It's fun. It's nostalgic. I like the original 4th one, but even like Cassie was saying, especially you, Cassie, I think you would really like the 4th one because it feels more in line with 1, 2, and 3, like that tone. Even though 3 was getting a little crazy, it was still Rocky, but definitely watch it. It's only an hour and a half long. They cut a lot out, and it's just different. So there you go.
Canada cut July due to budgetary constraints.
That's a good one, Jay. Jay, Desolate Studios. What about you, buddy? About this movie?
Well, this movie, and I mentioned this in the interview that I came on your show with you and Sassy. This movie literally changed my life. I went through a very dark period. I was doing like a lot of drinking. I was not seeing my kids. I was doing cocaine. I had a gun in my mouth. And I was gonna end my life. That's how bad it was. And if it wasn't for my Aunt Gladys, I love her. And she called me and she brought up Rocky because she knew how much I loved Rocky, and she was a huge, massive boxing fan. Like her and my grandfather are huge boxing fanatics, and so this movie was like it's massive for my life.
Sure. I can understand that.
So like it's just hits me in all cylinders. Not to drag this out, but for me it's a 10 out of 10. And like even Mickey, like my grandfather was an old Irish bare knuckle boxer. He
old Irish bastard.
Yeah, he had the cauliflower ears.
Did he tell you that you could eat lightning and crap thunder though? Like that's
no. He would just said you're gonna
eat potatoes. And that's all you're gonna get.
You're gonna eat potatoes and drink whiskey.
Yeah, but
I'm just giving you shit.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
He reminds me so much of Mickey too. Like he's just when I remember watching boxing with him, and he'd be knocking things over, swinging his hands, and he'd be like, yeah. So it is like this is a huge movie for me, and it'll always be number one in my heart forever.
100%, 100%,
10 out of 10, and I recommend it to anyone who has not seen Rocky 1 and 2 and 3 for sure, and 4
100%
for sure is a must. So
Dark Hour. What about you, buddy?
Well, I get to do this. I just realized I'll use a thumb scale and I'll give it 2 big
that's fine.
thumbs up right there. That's what I want to do. So, now, in all honesty, this I have a lot of trouble ranking the Rocky.
I know it's hard.
And I remember one year for my birthday I had the flu, and that particular day they did a Rocky marathon, and I watched all. At that point, they only had up to 5, but I watched all of them clean through, even 5. I was like, whatever, I'm sick anyway. What am I going to do? And that became kind of a tradition for a long time to at least watch some of the Rocky movies on my birthday. And I will always make sure to rewatch the first one at least once a year. So it's for me, it is the definition of a classic film. Like if you're listing all-time classics and it's not in there, and somebody like Andrew for some reason doesn't like it, because he randomly won't like really good movies. That is one of the ones that I will often suggest to people. Be like, this is in the top 10 films of all time for me. So,
oh yeah, 100%. I agree. White Bear. What, is that Dale? Is that Dale?
Dale Earnhardt. Wow, random.
Yeah, Dale. Doing for Dale.
America's never random, so I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. So let's see. I'd have to definitely give this at least 8 pizzas out of 10 because this movie, it inspired. I don't know how many, at least 2 full generations of Americans to think about looking into boxing, or to get out there and do something, and to feel good, and to
try to live your dream.
To do something, not to give up on what you're going for.
Right.
And it told a really good story. I believe it suffers somewhat from a smaller budget. That's not its fault, so I'm not hating the movie for it. I just wish that more people would have been able to believe in it, like we do today. Sound quality at times was kind of shoddy. The lighting, was somewhat shoddy, but that was, it was the time, it was the day, it was the budget, but other than that, it's an 8's pretty freaking high, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. So got to give it an 8 pizza.
Yeah,
I would actually say if there's one thing that I didn't mention, so I can see why some people don't like the pacing of the film. It is, there are a couple of parts that probably could have been sped up a little bit, maybe a couple of repetitious lines, a couple of repetitious scenes. But for the most part, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, I think I agree with you there. Probably a few things. I mean, he was a young filmmaker. I mean, the guy was it was his first movie, for Christ's sake. So I think he did well. Yeah, for me, again, one of my favorite movies of all time. I can't hate this movie because then the Italian people come and fight me and they throw me in a ditch somewhere. It's the rule. It's just the rule. This and The Godfather, I have to like. So no, I agree. It's not just because of the Italian American thing. It definitely is one of those. To me, it's the best underdog story ever made. It's so good, and it inspired a lot. You see boxing movies after this movie, and everybody copies this formula from this whole series. Yeah. Every time I see a boxing film, I compare it to Rocky. I'm like, they did this in Rocky 30 years ago. They did, it's not a bad thing, right? But it's hard to give rankings. I mean, to me, if I'm being selfish, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. It's just fantastic. President Rocky, this guy, man,
that's definitely a picture of Rambo, though. That's definitely not Rocky.
To me, this guy has had the most. Like I used to get in this argument with a buddy of mine at work about who really had the better career, him or Schwarzenegger. And I always say Stallone because he had the most iconic characters, right? Rambo and Rocky alone, and they're still relevant. It's like, it's crazy. I mean,
that is a great argument.
It's a good argument. Stallone maybe
guy. Sorry, a Schwarzenegger guy, but Stallone's my second guy. It's like
and I love Schwarzenegger movies. Like I love all his stuff. But as far as like a franchise, this guy put together 2 of them
for longevity of career. Stallone definitely.
Stallone for sure. I agree. Yeah. And even them, they used to hate.
He was able to transform himself better, whereas Schwarzenegger was trapped in that, and even when he tried to branch out, it didn't work as well.
Yeah. So, I love them both.
Plus the directorial stuff and the writing.
Bro, backface. We're gonna do Rambo eventually, buddy. So we're gonna have to have you on
as
for that
opposed
one.
to Schwarzenegger, who didn't have the directing stuff and didn't have the writing stuff. It was just he was a muscle-bound action hero. And when that started to fizzle out,
with insane one-liners. That dude's like the list of one-liners under Schwarzenegger's belt is insane. But I will say that when it comes to Sly, he just has like his acting has more depth to it. There's like you kind of think, oh man, like Rocky, it's a sports film. It's like, no, watch the film. Like Rocky's character has depth to him. He's relatable.
Yeah.
And there's moments in even not just, Rocky, but even in First Blood, that's like that really like grabs at your heartstrings. He's able to do that, man.
Yeah.
Well, the second and third round.
Oh, it just becomes a straight.
They became straight up just like
action,
like gun porn stuff. It was just like, how many things can I shoot? Like,
I love.
That was the 80s, right? Chuck Norris, Stallone,
Chuck Norris, yeah.
Arnold.
I love Rambo. Rambo's so good. Two great characters, except for the last Rambo. Last Blood, I think it was. Not too great.
Yeah.
I like the one when he goes to what's the one that he goes, the fourth one where he just starts blowing people away with
I think it's just called John Rambo.
Just John Rambo. Oh,
John, yeah. And he's in Vietnam still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very true, Dempsey. They're both great. And they both hated each other. They were rivals, and then they realized, what the fuck are we rivaling?
Well,
for?
they were like frenemies. They were like rivals, but like they literally opened a restaurant together.
Yeah. They love each other now. They're really close now. But they realize as you get older, you start to realize it's all bullshit. And why are we not friends? But that's it. Episode 47. Rocky. Classic. What a freaking great panel, great discussion. I guess we can do the shout outs now and then we can get on our way. Cassie, I know you got a lot going on. You probably got some good shit coming up. I know you got live streams and videos. I love your fucking video. What do you got coming up?
Thank you. Well,
of course.
Honestly, I don't even know what I have coming up. I normally everything I do is like, well, today I just feel inspired to do this. I'm gonna go do that right now. That's typically how it goes. But I will be streaming instead of Thursday on Wednesday because Thursday I have to leave everyone alone so that they can have fun with their families. What business do I have wasting your time on Thanksgiving? I have zero business doing that. So I'm just going to stream on Wednesday. If you're into video games, definitely go check out my channel, Cult Classic Cage, where I talk all sorts of gaming nonsense going on and just my thoughts and kind of just laugh a little bit about gaming fanboys, man, because they are deranged and they're for the holiday, they're going extra crazy. So we're definitely going to talk about it.
Yeah, there's some stupid shit going on. I absolutely love her channel, her videos. She's fantastic. And it's very real and passionate, and she doesn't give a shit, and I love it. She just tells it like it is, and every time she sees it's fantastic. And she's
how can you not love Triple C? Like, she's the best.
Oh, Cassie's the best. She's one of my favorite fucking people on this whole platform. She's great.
Thank you for
always welcome on the channel.
Awesome to talk about Rocky. Of course. I love this film. This is the film that makes me realize that I was like the last of the individuals that didn't have a cell phone. Like, I didn't get a cell phone till like the 7th grade. Like, so that world prior, I was like the last generation of experience.
Yeah, you're an old soul, man. You like a lot of I love it because she likes like old school music and movies. She's not in tune with any of the new shit. It's crazy.
Unless it's K-pop. I love K-pop because
that's fine. We'll
very much inspired by 70s, 80s, and 90s, and you can tell when you actually listen.
That's great.
Rocky is just that film that really gives me that damn, like the old way of being is fucking over. It's sad that that's
no
the case, but
face.
It gives me that nostalgia feel.
This is for you, Kat. No, I don't think she liked the new Modern Warfare game. I don't even know if she's
bother buying that. I played Modern Warfare 2, and I spent a lot of money on that, and I regretted every hour I spent on that piece of shit. So.
Me too. I fucking hate. I played it like a few times, and I never went back to it. I think I sold it or got rid of it. I fucking hated it. I'm so done with Call of Duty. But for now, we'll see what Microsoft does with them. But definitely check her out. Her information's in the description. Please do subscribe. Awesomeness. Jay, Desolate Souls, Gooch buddy. What do you got there, buddy? What's coming up?
Got a busy couple of weeks. Tomorrow night on Desolate Souls Studios, I will have the one, the only Mr. Bagface on, I will be having an interview with him.
I'm definitely not watching
And
that shit.
I'm looking forward to this.
He's a good dude.
There's a lot. Yeah, he's a great guy. I love
He really
Bagface. There's going to be, I think it's going to be a great conversation. There's a lot there. We're going to have a lot of fun. And then Wednesday, I will have Hojo on. We'll be talking about his campaign and his book, The Mythicals.
Oh, nice.
Thursday on Desolate Soul Studios, I'll be with Amateur Analyst 10 o'clock Eastern. We're going to be reviewing episode 1 of Blue Eye Samurai, the show that I've been.
It's on the list,
out.
Jay. Okay, I'm finishing one show right now.
Copa watched it and he loves it. So,
I know. I listen. It's saved. It's literally the next show I'm watching on Netflix. Not far off. Not far off.
And then then the weekend, and then next Tuesday, I have Thomas Healy on, the editor-in-chief of Spawn Comics. And then Wednesday, I have Mandy Summers on. And then, I think next Thursday, I'll probably have the Gooch Show. It's going to be a return of the Gooch Show. We'll be doing that. And that's what's going on for the next couple weeks.
Bagface is a fun interview. I give him shit all the time, but when we had him on the Cannoli Connection, we had like a 3-hour episode with him. He's a chill dude. He has his opinions. He's slightly gay, but I love him anyway. Great guy. I'll be definitely checking that out tomorrow. So definitely.
Jake Goodwin. I actually started a Kickstarter to fund my appearance on Desolate Soul Studios.
I've been on Desolate Soul Studios. Sassy's been on.
Yes,
there.
You've been on a few times.
Gooch
Show. Been on. I'm gonna get Dark Out.
Yeah, Bagface.
Yeah, we've been in discussions. It's just the
yeah.
I know. I get it. Yeah, I still haven't been invited to the Sunday show yet. So fucking Bagface hates me. He doesn't want me to be on his chill stream, but whatever. I'm just kidding.
I mean, you were on one of the best episodes of Two Hoes we ever did. So
that was great.
That was a fun one. Yeah,
that was a good one. Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Love that movie and a good guest and uninspired. I just hearing his accent gets me all warm and fuzzy. French bastard. I love you. Dark Hour, speaking of you, what do you got coming up there, buddy?
So for the rest of the year in terms of pre-made stuff, I'm not really sure which movies I want to review as of right now. I'm kind of bopping a few around. I still do need to do my follow-up on Loki because I only did the first half of the show, so I have to do the second half technically. I'm going to do an end of the year like summary, not like best movies, worst movie, anything. It's going to be literally like me talking about the whole year in entertainment. And surprises, things that I expect to going forward. And of course, we have the Uninspired Hour with me and Uninspired Reviewer. Our next, we're going to be December. We're pretty much doing every week. The next one we have coming up is Superman the Motion Picture, the original one with Christopher Reeve.
Nice.
And that will be pretty much almost everybody from that one that's on the panel will be from the Mr. Brown Alliance. So there's gonna be a lot of good chemistry with the guests on that one. And then I got a couple other good ones like Die Hard coming up later this December, the next in December. So that's got a lot of stuff going on in all different ways.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's a great show. Please check them out on Saturday. It's great.
Similar to this, we do it a little differently. It's a little
differently, but it's still good. I had a blast when I was on with them, and they do a great job with everything. Even Uninspired, he's okay too.
Well, I was saying this earlier today that I personally think that like me and him, we hit it off real quickly, and we got the quality of the show up really fast because like usually a lot of times there's that that lull period where you're not really sure what you want to do, how you want to do it. Me and him had very similar visions right away.
Yeah,
and by the second episode, we had our like formula and style ironed out.
It helps when you have a great chemistry with the people you do the show with. This show wouldn't work nearly as well without White Bear and his cocaine. That's why we call him White Bear. Anyway,
Common People really wants to fight me, and he's showing up in all the chats wanting to
fight
me.
What is going on? Bagface, Jesus, what is going on in the chat? No, I love you guys. No, it's a great show. Please go check them out. All this, like I said, all their information's in there. White Bear, you had a meme video come out today. I just
White Bear too got a meme video, and I think we should have one out on Wednesday and Thursday. So
nice.
Kind of be on the lookout for that for memes and political satire.
Yes. Do it. Okay. Well, I am taking some time off for the holiday because I don't get a lot of time off of work, so I'm enjoying that time. Really don't have much planned except for the next Mischief Mayhem movie. Next week we are doing Gladiator. So we have Lance, Outcast Creative, Nadia, and Amateur Analyst on for that show. So I'm really looking forward to that. Don't have to force me to watch Gladiator too many times. I really do like that movie. It's
you do
Rome,
like
right?
Gladiator movies.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. Do you like Gladiator movies?
Do you like Gladiator movies?
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
And of course, so she doesn't shoot me when I go upstairs, Mrs. Sassy Sasquatch has her Sassy Sunday stream, which is fantastic. I know I joke
show her
around,
your turtle.
I will show her Cuffin link later. Yeah, so check her out there. But yeah, other than that, that's it. I'm gonna enjoy the 4-day weekend that I'm gonna get after Wednesday. I'll be checking out these people and their streams because I love them. Please subscribe to their channels. Please support these people. Very important for the whatever the fuck YouTube's doing these days. I don't know what's going on.
Honestly, yeah, they've been a lot.
Their algorithm's very strange lately.
Yeah, I've had certain videos go off that I'm like, this shouldn't have worked, and then other ones that I'm like,
yeah,
this could have been a hit. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's very strange, but that's fucking YouTube. But anyway, love you all. Thank you to the chat. Thank you to the super chats. You guys are awesome. We will see you next week. And goodbye.